Hello and welcome to Boarding Party's D&D campaign. Featuring Bentley Woods, CJ, D. Blackwater, Milo Reuter, and Phoebe Wilheim. I'm Drew, the Game Master for the Laris region. Phoebe tirelessly continues her efforts to help out on Ambercrag and looks for answers on what may have happened to Wadalonga. So, ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome to the next continuing of Phoebe's medical center training.
What was the long medical show?
The long medical show?
It had George Clooney in it. It was like before Grey's Anatomy.
MASH? That's the longest running TV show that I know about. It's like 80 years. Like not Grey's Anatomy?
It was medical. It was like, it followed a medical theme.
It is not Grey's Anatomy?
Somebody out there tell me what it is. Because it's like at the tip of my tongue.
It's like Nip Tuck?
No, but it's a lot closer.
Is it? It's not Scrubs. I don't think George Clooney was on Scrubs.
No. It's like they play doctors and it just follows their lives. But it wasn't like a soap opera. It was
NCIS. I don't know. Anyways, the long-running medical show, episode 2.
You guys will say in the comments.
Someone will know what Tia's talking about. Anyways, to bring us in, I'm going to start us off with a thing that Phoebe will not see.
Oh, no.
As a news broadcast begins to play. Here it goes. Bing, 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 bong. The intro to the news plays. Whatever that is. Some royalty-free news music.
That classic news.
Yes. A mysterious explosion rocked the flooded streets of Wadalonga last night, with early reports suggesting a mixture of alcohol and a gas leak in the restaurant The Cajun Crockanaw Kitchen, resulting in the destruction of what remained of the traditionally quiet city. While we won't know the extent of the damage until the river recedes to its normal levels, initial estimates place the depth of the explosion crater at nearly 35 feet below the surface. Bing, 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 bong, and then it ends. That's the end of the broadcast. That sound is the end. It's the start and the end of the broadcast. It bookends the broadcast. You get it.
Now you know.
Yes. But we pan back to Phoebe, who has just seen so many friendly faces.
Yeah.
Being carted in left, right, and center. Just everywhere.
Yeah.
You've got Rose. You've got Growl. You have Bentley and Mortar being hauled in. Mortar's conscious. He's up and at him. Blue burns all over. He was freaking out. Tom Woods came running in.
Yeah.
Bentley's all burned up. You've got Diego. You've got Isabel. You've got Ty. You've got Remy. You have what remains, very sadly, of Crash. Where to first, Phoebes?
Well, I already saw Bentley.
Yes.
I saw Crash. What are they doing with Crash? Are they still trying, or are they just...
Crash is just on a gurney.
He's kind of just been left for the moment.
Yeah. They're sort of focused on the folks that are still breathing.
Okay. My first instinct here is to say to Milo.
Okay.
Which I'll send then in the group chat.
Sure. As one does.
Yeah, is to that Crash is dead.
It's starting strong.
There's no way. There's no nice way to say it.
Hi, Milo.
Somebody needs...
Just Crash is dead. Okay.
If he can, Fair. He's got to do his best to try to reach CJ, but he probably won't.
Yeah.
My suspicion at this point is that the Oni found them. I don't know for sure, but that's what I suspect is going on. Bentley's here. He's unconscious, but alive. So is Mortar. And then Rose and Growl, I haven't checked on. And then literally the rest of the survivors of Wadalonga. So that's... I just let him know all that, like Diego, Isabel, Ty.
Fill him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then be like, what What's the game plan?
What's the game plan?
Are you guys gonna come here? What?
Oh,
Also,
man.
by the way, I'm pretty sure Helios is around.
Even worse news.
Yes, even just to add on top of that.
Yeah.
Don't know where he is. Might have left. Could still be in the hospital. Not sure. Trying to triage right now.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
All right.
Send off a very, very frantic message
Yeah.
via Totcoms.
Yeah. And then I'm going to I'm gonna go check on Growl and Rose, because aren't they both in the same area?
Yes,
Okay.
they are both being carted in rooms past you as
Okay.
you sort of exit Bentley's space.
I'm just gonna go see if there's gonna be anything I could do to help. If not, I just wanted to see if they're okay for now, and then move on.
Where do you start? Rose or Growl?
Let's go to Growl.
Okay. You see Growl, and I always forget if Howl or Growl had their busted leg at the very beginning,
Yeah.
because you named them the same. Made it real easy to remember. I think it was Howl, but
Okay.
it doesn't matter. Regardless, much worse than when you first met Howl and Growl.
Yeah.
Growl is missing his front right leg.
Okay.
His back right leg is broken very badly. And his horns have cracked and kind of like splintered off. And he's got that same like awful blue radiation burn all across the right side of his body.
Okay. But he's
He is unconscious.
alive.
He's alive.
Okay.
He's breathing. And they've got him hooked up to like some dog IVs
Yeah.
that are heat resistant, thankfully,
Right.
keeping him stabilized,
Okay.
more or less.
Okay.
But yes, Growl does appear to be in a very bad way.
Okay. Oh, not to ask whoever is like tending to him. I don't know who in the moment. Like, is there anything I can do to help right now, or?
Right now, whoever's in there, we'll just let you know. Right now, we just need to stabilize as many as we can.
Okay.
And then figure out sort of what this blue burn is.
Yeah.
'Cause this is new.
Yeah.
This is some sort of new thing.
Okay. Can I take a close look
Yeah,
at
it'll
Growl's
be
burn? Medicinal?
it'll be Arcana
Oh.
or Medicine. Different
Things are getting
DCs for different.
weird.
Yeah, so you'll get different information depending on which one you go for.
Wait, sorry. Arcana or what?
Arcana or Medicine.
Medicine? Okay.
Either one.
Can I do both, or do I have to pick one?
You could try for both.
Okay, I'll try for
Because
both.
they have different information tied to them. Medicine will tell you like how they're doing, maybe a way to treat it.
Okay, so
Arcana might tell you like literally what did it.
that seems redundant because there's already medical people that have done one over. So I'll do Arcana
Okay.
to see if I can figure out more specifics.
All right. I believe in you.
Keep these good rolls going.
Get these good rolls.
That'll be 24.
24. Sometimes I forget you guys have intelligence. Okay, 24.
The burns.
It doesn't take you long
Okay.
to piece together that this is in fact radiation burn.
Okay.
As you and I have been discussing off camera of what you'll be getting yourself into.
Okay.
All of these blue burns are present on everybody that's coming from Wadalonga.
Yeah.
Every single person.
Yes.
There's no sign of lunar corruption on
Okay.
anybody.
Okay.
It is just this blue radiation burn.
Okay.
It is different from whatever weird mumbo jumbo is going on in Bentley's torso.
Okay.
This is a completely different issue. You do piece together, given the current state of Crash,
Mm-hmm.
that the Waterstone exploded, and you being of a sciencey mind, but also experimenting a bit with runes in recent weeks,
Mm-hmm.
you're starting to learn there's a much wider world of experimental science and magic out there.
Right.
The expulsion of that much energy
Yeah.
is gonna do some stuff.
Right.
And you begin to piece together that the radiation burns,
yeah.
and the potential danger therein is that it's going to, even just from the spots you can see where there are open wounds, even if they've been stitched shut, they still ooze with blood. And they,
Wherever the burns are.
yes, so it seems like this radiation burn similar to nuclear radiation in our own world in our own time, can break down a body's ability to heal and stitch itself back together. And it kind of interrupts a bunch of functions.
Okay.
Specifically for Growl, you can see where that broken leg is.
Yeah.
There are just lesions all over the skin that are just sort of open.
Okay.
And just all across the front of the body.
Okay.
Anywhere that blue burn is, if you look any closer,
Yeah.
there are like lesion marks
Okay.
everywhere.
Okay.
It's bad. It's bad stuff.
Can I attempt just to test it out on an area of the blue burn where there's like a wound? I want to wrap it with my bandage.
Oh, with the infinite bandage?
With the infinite bandage. See if that stops like the bleeding.
Yeah, so it will. It will stop the bleeding.
Okay.
As you wrap it around. It doesn't do anything for the radiation or the lesions.
But it does.
But it will at least absorb enough bleeding and kind of help it clot.
Okay.
So you won't get any better, but you also won't get any worse.
Right.
You kind of wrap a Growl up.
Yes. I'll just like mummify him.
You're like, hold on, buddy. Hold on. Hold on. He's pretty much on like a full body cast.
Okay.
He just has like his like part of his little snout open.
Right. God, so depressing.
It really is. This is such a downer.
Okay, so I'm gonna wrap him up and then I'm gonna go look at Rose.
Okay. For Rose, same deal. I will allow medicine or arcana. Kind of take a look at.
Okay.
But as you do that, I will let you know. As discussed last time, Rose is missing a fin and half of her back flipper. Her horn and a good chunk of her face has been just caved in. Still alive.
Oh, God.
But she also has those same radiation burns. They're not as horrible as they are on Growl or even like Bentley or Mortar.
Okay.
But they are still present.
Okay.
But with that said, let's get Arcana or Medicine, dealer's choice.
Okay, we're gonna do Arcana. That's 17.
17. You sort of piece together with perhaps her being a water type, the stone being a water stone.
Okay.
Perhaps the burns are not as bad, but given that they are still present, that tells you there's not really a way around it. Because if anybody would and should have been okay, it would be like Rose and Evangeline, and presumably Crash if he hadn't been the epicenter of this explosion.
Or what about Ludicolo?
That's Evangeline.
Oh, Evangeline.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those two,
Evangeline.
should be okay.
Okay.
Given what you know about Waterstones.
Can I go confirm that? Can I just go run over to Evangeline just to confirm that?
Yeah, she still has the same like lesion burns.
The same.
But they are all up her back.
Okay.
And you can see if you were to look at Remy, there's you see like the sort of hat brim on his chest where she kind of just spread out to cover him.
Okay.
And he is also like fully unconscious, but Evangeline is hanging in there.
Okay.
She's up and at him and just kind of tending to Remy.
Okay. Who's just knocked out but also alive.
Yes, knocked out but also alive. And in a similar state to Bentley, but most of his body is okay because Evangeline was like, no.
And then what about, now I'll go check Isabel and Diego.
Yeah, so Isabel and Diego are free of the radiation burns.
Oh, okay.
And it seems like what you're piecing together from some medical files on the two of them. Diego has a concussion. Isabel's got a couple cracked ribs. Diego's got a couple cracked ribs. They look like they took a support beam to the chest during the explosion. And you can see basically a big, probably 6 to 8 inch wide bruise that you could connect across both of them if you were to lay them up.
Yeah.
So it looks like the two of them probably got hit by the same thing.
Okay.
That seems to be what the doctors have pieced together as well.
Okay.
So thankfully, no radiation burns on them for one reason or another.
Right.
And it's worth noting about
weird.
half of the people in Wadalonga have either very, very minor or almost none. But Remy, Bentley, Mortar, Rose, Growl, whatever happened, they were right next to it. Everybody else is about 50-50, whether a blast hit them or not.
Okay. Okay. And then Ty, right? Ty
Yes.
also has the burns.
And Ty has some very mild burns. Good man has a lot of burns, but seems to have, similar to Evangeline,
Yeah.
have just covered most of his vitals. So his
Right.
head, his torso, everything important. So he's got a couple kind of like light burns on his legs and his arms.
Okay.
But Ty is otherwise in pretty good spirits right now. You can't keep this kid down.
Okay. Can I... Hey, Ty?
Yes, hello. We exploded.
Yeah, it looks like it. What happened?
Well, we were making music, and then good man, his eyes went really big, and then he gave me a big hug, and now we are here.
That's all you remember?
Yes, there was a loud pop sound.
Yeah.
Like when you're making popcorn, but like really loud and only one instead of like 100 million.
Okay.
And then it was all white, and then I was here. And Goodman is here too, and you can see he's just like all wrapped up, and he's like, dude,
My good man.
dude,
You all right? Ish.
dude.
Yeah.
He kind of like turns around, you just see the same big blue burn marks up his back, and his are about as bad as Growl's. Big lesions in between the stones.
Yeah.
To the point that you're like, I didn't know you had flesh under there.
Yeah.
He's kind of just mildly eroded.
Oh boy. Dang, okay. So just a big pop,
Yep,
and then a light, and then you showed up here.
yep. They told me that was yesterday,
Yeah.
but it was today for me
Okay.
because it was super fast. I think we teleported.
Oh, you think you teleported?
Yes, because we were in Wadalonga and now I'm in a town I've never been to before. And what else could do that but teleporting?
Right. You're probably right, Ty.
I went so fast. I got here so fast, I burned everything. See? I ran fast enough. I got air burns.
Yeah.
I'm very fast.
You are. Well, it's good to see you, Ty.
Yes, you too. Do you live here? This your home?
No, it's not my home. I mean, it's my home away from home.
Can I live here for a little while?
Yeah.
Until I found what happens to my home?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We're not gonna
He's
kick
like,
you
good
out,
man. Tie 5, we're staying here.
I'll let you in on a secret, Ty.
Oh, yeah?
If you go to the cafeteria and ask for a rosy bottom, you'll get the secret dessert they have there.
Bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty. Yeah.
He just starts giggling.
You can take good man over there and...
Okay. Come on, good man. And he's like, dude, just kind of hauling on his good arm. He's like, all right.
He's not like, I guess not bleeding, but like dribbling rocks, like pebbles.
No, he's
from
in
his...
he's in a bad way. But compared to what you've seen, he seems okay.
Okay.
He was not nearly as close, and it was not a direct
And he's
path
not...
from what you can tell.
Yeah, and he's not like, I guess affected like mentally. It's just physical.
Yeah, good man for better and what. You know what? Throw an insight check.
Okay.
Throw an insight check on good
On
man.
good man.
He's not super hard to read, but
Okay.
there's a chance that you just don't pierce the dude.
That I don't... The rocky exterior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get to the gooey caramel center that's irradiated now.
13.
Yeah, it is entirely physical. And you can tell he's keeping up appearances for Ty.
Okay.
Good man is wise beyond his years.
And it seems, I mean, I can do an insight check, but like Ty legitimately doesn't...
Ty just has no idea how he got here.
Okay.
To a kid's mind,
Yeah.
if you're unconscious for a while and then you wake
Yeah.
up somewhere else,
Yeah.
I teleported.
Right.
He has no memory of how long he was out for. So he's
Right.
like, I must be the fastest boy alive. I have all the pieces. I pieced it together. I'm super fast. I'm Barry Allen. I'm the fastest boy alive.
Figured it out.
Yep. I've cracked the code. I am
the
Speed
code.
Demon.
I wonder if the pop was the stone being plucked out.
Who's to say?
Gross. Gross. Okay. This is so bad. And everyone else is unconscious.
Pretty
What?
much, yeah.
Diego, as in Diego from Xantha.
No, that's Jax.
Jax.
Diego is the Wadalonga gym leader.
Okay. I don't know why I'm confusing the two.
That's been a long time for both of them.
Okay. But he's out, and so is Isabel.
Yes, Diego is out with a concussion and some cracked ribs.
They're all...
Remy is in a bad state. Remy looks like Bentley does.
Remy and Bentley. Okay, so he's real close.
Yeah. So as you're starting to piece together, whatever happened with the blue irradiation from Crash, you can kind of piece together Dexter Morgan style, like how far people must have been.
Right, okay.
And you're starting to realize everybody who's really, really bad must have been same room minimally.
Yeah.
Perhaps same floor as a stretch or directly beneath.
Okay.
And then given the news reports that are flowing in that the Cajun Crocodile is the epicenter of this explosion, you're gathering a lot of folks must have been downstairs.
Okay.
It was a 3-story like manor house.
Right.
So depending on what floor it happened on, your proximity to it, you would have been shielded slightly, but still hit with debris and shrapnel.
Yeah. Nutty.
It's bad.
This is just nutty. I'm gonna go take a look at Crash one more time.
Yeah.
I want to just look at where the stone was.
Okay.
Like, is there any, like, even a sliver of stone?
Let's do a little medicine check.
Okay.
Again, not a super high DC, but there's always a chance. Because you'll get something either way, but the rolls have been hot.
That's an 8. 14.
14?
No, that's not terrible.
Okay. Looking at Crash again.
Yes.
It's a little unnerving, to say the least, to put it extremely lightly. It is an uncomfortable sight to see one of your strongest allies just completely indisposed.
Yeah.
His entire spine, that sort of like dorsal ridge thing that he's got going on, where one of them had been replaced, that entire quadrant of him, it's probably about 3 feet long, is just gone. It's as if someone just plucked it, but you can see the traces in his muscles where this stone had punctured and made its home.
Yeah.
And they have those same blue radiation marks, but on the inside.
Right.
Not from an explosion.
Right.
Crash is remarkably clear of any radiation from
burns?
the blast.
Okay.
But it seems like perhaps your friends who are holding these stones for as long as they are, while they are getting powerful, there's a health cost to it. As Crash would be effectively an early stage, like cancer effectively, from that big stone. Lots of radiation through the veins. Anywhere that stone was in contact for a long time, there's less Crash and more sort of altered flesh, to the point that it's like kind of almost like off-colored and spongy, more so than it would be if he was just dead. This is kind of gross. I apologize, but I gotta play the hand I'm dealt. Yeah, I'm like, as I'm saying this, like, this is really gross. But yes, so to put it a little bit more lightly.
So he doesn't have like an insane blast burn. He just has.
Crash just looks limp and like wherever that stone had been on him for so long, you can't remove one without killing the other.
Okay.
It's like a parasite that had been there too long.
It started to integrate.
Yes.
So would it be reasonable then to say that, like, if let's say you removed it soon enough after it got added, it wouldn't be fatal to remove it?
It's possible.
Okay.
Ooh, I have an example. Throw a history check.
Okay.
I've got maybe an example I can use. Maybe. We'll find out. While we're on the subject.
15.
When Nubster defeated the cloister.
Yes.
That cloister pulled through. Still alive.
Yeah.
But you took the stone out of it.
Okay.
And Nubster has now had it for a substantial amount of time.
Yeah. So he's probably, I mean, not as long as Crash, because Crash was the first one who got it.
Yes, Crash was the first one to have it.
He has had it for quite a while.
He's had it for a long time, and he's used it a lot.
Yeah, so it'd be safe to say he's probably in a similar state.
Yeah. It's also worrying to you for Crash and Nubster.
Yeah.
the acquisition of a stone that forced them to evolve, that's a lot of energy
Yeah.
coming from an irradiated source, effectively.
Right.
So there is a give and take, which has been very lightly discussed by a couple guardians in the past for you guys. The more you use that stone, the more it takes from you.
Okay.
Mortar coming into contact with the Firestone super early on started to take his mind over because he wasn't strong enough to resist the force to use it, so it was ready to use him. Crash being strong enough to take the stone upon himself, didn't lose himself in the process, but it started to take some of his sort of what made him healthy, which we were gonna potentially get into later on, but
Right.
things went real south. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yes, that is Crash. He's Crash is looking really bad. But it's not a huge jump when you see the burns on the inside of Crash but not the outside to presume that potentially it was like a big shrapnel explosion in every direction except for into Crash. So he was the center of it.
Okay. I want to see... I mean, because Crash is not conscious, there's not a risk, or I guess dead.
Yeah, he has been unalived.
So I'm gonna try to see if using my staff, the Purify rune.
Okay.
I want to see if that does anything in terms of like, because like you said, the radiation was like in his veins instead. If it does anything to like extract that.
Okay.
I'm just seeing what happens.
Yes. As we purify
Yes.
his remains,
Yes.
there is no change.
Okay, but does something happen? Is that...
There's no change.
Okay, no change. I thought you meant he's still dead. I'm like, I didn't think he's
No.
alive.
He does not.
Okay.
Yeah, there's literally no change on the remains. As you're like, purified.
Nothing.
Nothing changes.
Okay.
Crash remains splayed out on the table. Radiation burns throughout. And burns on the inside is a weird way to put it. It basically, you can just see those bright, like cerulean blue tracks all the way through his veins.
Right. Yeah.
I keep saying burns because everybody else has the burns, but he basically, you can just see his veins have been affected.
Like a different version.
If you were to make it even more nasty, but a little bit clearer, if you were to dissect a crocodile, the average crocodile does not look like the inside of Crash.
Yeah.
Like something has been fiddling around with how Crash should be working.
Okay.
If we consult the Poke Anatomy book, if he was in there, I would do it, but...
Is he not?
It's only Gen 1.
Oh, okay.
Super useful book. Really gross, though.
Bad. Maybe Tito can help. Maybe probably not, because he just wishes for things to be better. As much as I love you, Tito.
Thoughts and prayers. But sometimes he gets an answer.
It's true. It's true.
We may never know.
Okay.
Tito. Tito.
I'm gonna... If Crash's eyes aren't closed, like, close his eyes.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna...
Yeah, they are open and just completely white. Like, if they look like they just rolled back.
Okay. I'm gonna close his eyes.
Okay.
And then put make a big, like, blanket with the bandage.
Okay.
And just, like, lay it on him, like, cover him.
Yeah. There's probably, like, a sheet in there, too.
Yeah.
You'd rather just...
But I'm gonna, I guess, find a sort of unused corner, because I don't want anyone to, like, get rid of the remains. So somewhere where no one's gonna, like, fiddle with it, because I know a lot's going on. There's just sort of a corner,
Okay.
where no one's gonna try to, like, burn him or whatever.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
you
Dispose of.
You just wheel him over to a corner, put a blanket on him, make it look like he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Weekend at CJ's.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
And then yeah, I'm just gonna put my hand on it and be like, I don't know if we can bring you back, but you helped. Why am I getting emotional? Am I about to get my period? I can say that because I'm a lady with lady parts. This is so sad.
It is. Don't feel bad, Joel and I cried in Ragnarok. A game we played for like 20 sessions. It's okay. It happens. You've been with Crash for 4 years. It's only natural you'd feel something.
Yeah, but then I'm also paranoid about Nubster. Like, seeing what happened. And that's probably Nubster's fate. Like, it's a little too late to be like, all right, I takesy backsies. But, yeah, also, yeah, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah. It's been 4.5 real-time years.
Yeah, so,
with
I'm gonna put my hand on him and be like, yeah, I don't know if I can help you, but I'll do my best, and maybe you got out in a less painful way. I'd probably not, and then I regret saying it immediately after looking at it. Classic Phoebe.
Finish it with a classic Phoebe zinger.
Yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna wipe away my real and fake tears and walk away quickly.
Real fake tears. Okay.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's rough. I think I said it last time, but I put off rolling for all of this for like 4 days. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I did it, and it went so poorly for everybody.
Except for Ty.
And then Ty, my sweet Ty, natural 20 on the first one. I was like, oh.
It's meant to be.
Oh, I was like, if Ty dies, they'll never forgive me.
His childhood purity saved him.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay.
Oof. Anyways.
Okay, everyone else is fine. I can't talk to anyone. Ty didn't know what happened. I've sent the message.
I'm gonna run over to. I'm sure there's not gonna be progress on it.
Yeah.
But I'm
you
just
never know.
Gonna run over. Yeah, to Dr. Ulana.
Mm-hmm.
And see if she's made any progress with the mold.
Oh, on his nasty wound.
Yeah, on Bentley's nasty wound.
Yeah. Yeah. If you like run back down into the sort of like decontamination room and suit up, knock on the door, go to rap tap tap, head on in. You see Tito.
Yes, Tito.
Just kind of kicking back, like levitating a little cup of tea. Just.
Tito's their donuts.
Whew. And he just points over and some donuts just plant on a little plate.
Yeah, I need to eat a donut right now.
Stress eat.
Yeah.
Sensible. Wyman, Coover, and the Sudowoodo and the Noivern are all still in their spaces.
Okay.
They're healed.
Right.
But they're like
just
for observation.
Right.
They got to make sure that this isn't like, you're purified. They let them out. They get into the middle of the hospital and they're like, just murk everybody. They're being held for a while.
Okay. But they're all doing good?
Yeah. Okay. Their conditions have vastly improved. Sudowoodo's not standing in the corner like a haunted little shy guy.
Yeah.
Just like, don't look at me or you'll die. Don't do it. I'd hate to kill you. Don't look me in the eyes. It's like a territorial gorilla. Except he's a tree made of rocks. He's rocky.
He's rocky.
Yes. But Tito's there. Dr. Ulana is there.
Okay.
You see she's working with like a little centrifuge. I think those little things that like spin super fast.
Yes.
She's got a couple different like test notes.
Okay.
Phoebe, welcome back.
Hi.
I trust you're handling everything upstairs relatively well given the circumstances. You're like all red. You're like, yep.
I'm doing great.
Everything is fine.
I'm totally fine.
Yeah. Tito will just kind of like tap you on the side of the leg, like.
Thanks, Tito. I swear to God, Tito. Just say it one more time.
Prayers and thoughts? What if I invert it?
I can't be mad at you, Tito.
Yeah.
You're too pure of heart.
He is.
All right. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, I have good news and bad news.
Okay.
The bad news first. to just rip the Band-Aid off. I have no idea what this mold is that you brought in. The good news is I found a way to remove it.
Oh.
I don't know what it is. I don't know where it came from.
Okay.
It's similar to a flesh-eating bacteria.
Oh.
However, rather than eating healthy flesh, it is preventing his wound from getting any better. It is sort of holding the wound open and activating his blood, making it thinner, causing him to bleed out more quickly.
Faster. Okay.
And I do believe that without treatment, he will eventually die.
Okay.
And by eventually, I mean in the course of the next 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
The good news, the mold does not appear to like extreme heat.
Oh.
Further bad news, you'll have to burn him shut to clear it out. That is the only thing I've found on short notice. I'm sorry. I wish I had better good news. But for now, in the short term, he's in the best place.
So we have to just...
We can burn away his infection. We should be able to graft some skin over top. He should be good as new. It'll just take a couple weeks. But from what I hear, the patient is unconscious. Now may be the best time to do it.
Okay.
As for the sort of blue burns that I'm hearing about, unfortunately, that is yet another mystery that I have yet to crack. You can see she very clearly hasn't slept in like the 2 days that you've been helping out upstairs.
Okay. Well...
You just see the empty coffee cups, and Tito's just like, pours another one in.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm gonna go do that then. And
yes, good news, bad news. I'll let you know if there's any other breakthroughs. This stuff is...
insane.
fascinating if we weren't already slammed.
Yeah.
Terrifying to be sure. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but it is an interesting sort of disease.
You're talking about the mold or the bird?
Yes, well, both, I suppose.
Okay.
But I really wish it was one or the other and not both.
Yeah.
But on the bright side, we can fix one.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah. So I feel.
Tito will kind of snap and kind of double kick and motion towards the door and be like, "Whew, need some company?"
Yes.
All right. And he looks at Dr. Ulana. He's like, "Catch you soon." He'll just walk over to the door. He walks into the decompression chamber, just and is like, "Cleanse me, cleanse me of disease. I'm ready." And he comes out all sparkly. That's him. That's not the not the decontamination stuff.
I was like, wow.
That is him making himself sparkle.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Burn some mold, Tito.
Yeah, he'll kind of follow you out, and he's like, "The sun." Woo.
Yeah, you probably haven't left there in a while, huh?
He's like, 2.5 weeks underground.
Wow.
He's like, you've probably never heard of it. I work in the contagious disease unit.
Yeah, I think at this point
it's pretty underground.
You're considered a mole person, Tito.
Yeah. He's like, probably. You're right. A mole man.
All right, let's go, Tito. And then
right.
I'm going to start hustling to Bentley's room.
Okay. Yeah, Tito just kind of like hovers up a little bit, and there's some little skates, and he just holds onto the back of your legs, and he's just skating behind you. It's like, in we go. As you are headed back up, there is a big hole in the wall of the hospital.
What?
On the side where Blue was.
There's a big hole?
Yes, and there are
Is this a new hole?
This is a new hole.
Jesus
there are
Christ.
2 bureau members, like incapacitated on the ground, being tended to by some folks, and being just kind of like carted in.
Did we not hear like an explosion down there?
Not down there. And there are these big Urshifu-shaped footprints in the ground. As everybody's just kind of like abuzz. It seems to have been pretty recent.
What is happening?
As Tito just looks and is like, yikes.
Yeah, Tito.
That looks bad.
Can you fix it? Can you wish for fixing?
Reparo. Oh, not bad. It's a 63. Some of the wall starts to like shimmer back together.
Yeah.
But it's like illusory. Like the bricks aren't moving.
Oh,
He's
okay.
like,
Okay, it's fake.
Done. But Tito's like, that's what it looked like when I came out here 2 weeks ago. Fixed it.
Okay, I'm gonna approach one of the men in black.
Yeah.
And
That's a fair description of them.
and be like, what is going on?
It seems our
happened?
champion no longer wishes to stay with us.
So she just stormed out?
Well,
Blew out a wall?
that freaky Urshifu of hers did. She came to for a few seconds,
Yeah?
said get us out of here,
And
off they went.
it did.
Yeah. We thought about trying to stop it, but that didn't go well. So we just...
Yeah, can see that.
If Blue's awake enough to make her own decisions, then we can't keep her here. She's not in prison.
Right.
She had some kind of book in her hand, talking about fighting back in the name of the sun. I don't know. I think she was a little loopy from the medicine. But
Well,
for now, we have 2 more in need of urgent care.
mm,
As if this day can't get any weirder.
is there a trail at all? Like
Oh,
where
yeah.
Okay, there is, like the
There's,
Urshifu
like,
prints.
Thick footprints. That thing
Okay.
is heavy.
Okay.
And even in like hard-packed desert earth, it is leaving
something.
prints.
Okay.
Like if you wanted to, you could follow it.
Yes. Okay.
But
So what direction is it going?
it is headed north, south, east, west. It is headed to the south and
Okay.
to the east.
Southeast?
So out of Ambercrag, presumably towards the port, but it's a little bit of a harsher angle closer to, like if you were to go almost straight to Hillmouth, but not quite. Seems to just be
Okay.
getting her out of town.
Okay. Crap. I feel like somebody's got to follow that right now. I don't think I should do that.
You know what? Bentley should do it for sure. He can handle it. He's ready.
Like, I feel like somebody... Ooh!
Ooh.
God damn it.
What sort of thought trail are you chasing?
Listen. I have to get a hold of... There's too many names.
Who are you thinking of? Who are you thinking of? I might be able to help you.
From the forest. My homie.
Your homie
My
from
ears
the
and
forest.
eyes of the forest.
Oh, crickets?
Crickets!
You want to get a hold of crickets?
Yes, I need to get a hold of crickets. If there's one man for this job, it's crickets.
Yeah, so crickets, as you know, is up in Greengate.
Crickets.
Well, he's in the forest between Greengate and Xantha. But you could manor there for a day. Try to find him.
Well, do I have to be there for the full day?
Kinda, yeah.
Why?
Because you have to go there.
Yeah.
And then it'll close. And then it'll open the next time.
But if I don't...
And then it'll open in another place.
What if I don't leave it?
Um...
Could I technically... If I was to stay... Like, poke my head out of the door... and yell for crickets...
You know what? I'll say if you're willing to spend a day in the manor...
Okay.
You could bamf to Greengate, try to get a hold of crickets.
Yes.
If you're there for less than an hour,
Okay.
you could run back in and then have it reopen there. But you'd lose out on a day of hospi help.
Okay.
But I'll say that way you don't have to basically burn an entire day in a town that you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
But
I
if
mean,
there's
I'm sure
stuff you want to work on in the manor, because now that you've kind of done some of the stuff in the hospital...
Yes.
You could take like that mold into the manor and run it through infinite things if you wanted to give you some ideas.
Run the what?
You could run the mold that's on Bentley through infinite tests.
Okay.
You could run infinite tests with the endless bandage.
Okay.
Like the manor is still available to you.
Okay.
You could make a copy of the endless bandage with all the same properties, but they can't come with you. But you could still test things with it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is you could potentially, if you want to blow your cover, could open Wilhelm Manor as like a triage center with infinite resources. But then the secret's out that you have this infinite space. Or
It's
you
true.
could just go look for Crickets and see if Crickets wants to help you with this thing.
Well, I'm not. I need a skilled, already skilled. No, he wasn't that skilled.
He was pretty skilled.
Well,
he did
he is.
kill an Incineroar.
No, I take that back. They are
He's
skilled.
pretty good.
It's just the time they tried to sneak up on us, they failed horribly.
Yes, well, because Ringy natural
Ringy.
one. I was rolling stealth for them, and he threw a
Yeah,
big fat
yeah,
one.
okay.
And I was like, I gotta give it to him.
I mean, I
Is
think
that something you want to try?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna do that. I'm gonna do
Okay.
that because there's stuff I can do in the manor. Plus, I wanted to go in the library.
Okay, you want to break into the library? I say
so-
break in. The door's just in your house. You could just go there. Yeah, every time everybody's like, oh my God, I want to go to the vault. Like, we got to break in. I'm like, it's open. There's a door. You can just go in. You don't have to heist it, man.
We're like trying all these
was
methods.
I was trying really hard not to laugh at Devin because I'm like, bro, I appreciate how honest and earnest you're being. Like, sneaking into the library, being like, I need some help finding some books. And he's like, yes, right away. So I'm like, the Pioneers are here to help you, man. They're here to help. He's like, I got to break into the vault. There's 2 B-sharp guards. And they're like, sir. And he's like, shh. I'm like, it's okay. You guys can go in there. You especially
Right.
can just walk in. He'd be like, what's up, Fusel? I need some help.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then.
Obviously, he's not here, but I
Yeah.
can help. I'll fill in.
I might come back for another day, but I think right now,
Okay.
considering what's going on, everyone's unconscious. That could maybe help me get some answers anyway.
Yeah. If you're like, I'll be back in a day.
Yes.
Tito's like, where are you going?
I gotta go get crickets, Tito.
Can I come?
Sure.
Sick. He's like, all right. Cool. Where are we going? Who's crickets? Where's crickets?
You'll find out.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'll let I don't know the people at the hospital know I'm gonna be back in a day.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Hansen and the others are like,
And
thank you for your help.
yeah.
If
Could
you return, yeah,
Yes. Could you please page me if anybody wakes up?
absolutely. You will be the first one to know if your
okay.
friend comes too.
Oh wait, we gotta do Bentley first. I almost left Bentley with this. wound.
I wasn't gonna stop you, but I'm like,
Okay.
okay.
All right, wait.
Okay,
I'm
we walk it
surprised
back.
Tito
Walk it
didn't
back.
Remind me.
Walk it back. Walk it back. Walk it
Yes.
back. Walk it back.
Okay.
Walk it back.
Okay.
Tito's like me. Tito's like, where are we going? What's going on? You changed your mind? Okay, where are we
Yes.
going? Can I come with you?
Okay.
I'm scared. Where do I go? Okay, you go to Bentley.
Yes, we're gonna run
Okay.
over to Bentley.
You run to Bentley.
Yes. Do I a medicine check to figure out how I'm gonna burn his wound here?
You could. There's also a big mortar in there.
Yeah.
Real big mortar.
He's just gonna breathe on it, or
Does have a very hot hand.
okay. Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Mortar.
Mortar. You can do it, buddy. You have to put your hot
Mortar.
hand on his icky wound.
I will open Mortar's stats.
Okay. Can I like assist him
To
to help try to make this successful?
I will say you can.
Okay. Do I have to do Pokemon handling?
Because as you kind of head back in there, you start to piece together. Mortar seems very uncomfortable
Okay.
in that he doesn't have a place to go. He doesn't have a ball anymore.
Oh.
So he's just kind of sitting against the wall like
That it's making him
it's like, I gotta be
uncomfortable that he
helpful.
can't-
He seems a little anxious.
Oh, okay.
More so that Bentley's like fully unconscious, but he's like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
Right.
Ooh.
Right.
But as you walk in and you're like, Mortar, bro, homie, I need you to light this guy on fire. I need you to burn Bentley.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
He looks at his hands
yes.
and he has 2 options.
It's mega cannon.
He has fire and he has this like golden light.
Okay.
And he's like,
I'm pretty sure the golden light.
golden light?
Golden light?
Mm-hmm.
What? Can I take a closer look at this? What is this coming from? Well, you can't just say that.
I don't
and be
know.
Like...
I don't know how much Phoebe has been kept in the loop
Okay.
since Mortar lost the ghost typing.
Oh.
He is still dead.
Okay.
He is still like a phantom,
Yeah.
but he is now fire and radiant.
Oh.
So he's got 2 options.
Fire. Okay. Well.
He can do fire and he can do radiant. Ulana told you fire.
Okay, yeah. So
Radiant
never mind.
is the sort of unknown quantity.
Never mind. Fire. Just
Okay.
kidding, Mortar. Don't.
Okay. He's like,
Fire.
I have to burn my boy?
Yeah.
I don't want to burn my boy.
It's a controlled burn. Otherwise,
My arm is a cannon.
otherwise, the mold is gonna take him out, Mortar. So we have
Okay.
to burn it away.
So, Mortar's medicine is really bad.
Right. I figured.
It is -2.
Oh boy.
So,
Oh,
I will
boy.
give you the option as Phoebes.
Yes.
You can help guide his hand,
Okay.
or he can have advantage. So you can have advantage -2,
Okay.
or roll once with your bonuses.
Roll once with my bonuses.
Yes, so a medicine check from you, or a medicine check with advantage from Mortar, but his bonus is a -2, where yours is like an 8 or a 6.
So you get to roll twice if I'm just helping Mortar.
Yeah, if you help Mortar, he rolls twice with -2, both times.
Right.
But if you kind of guide his hands
Yeah.
and like help him do it,
Yeah.
you can use your bonus.
Yeah.
But you only get one roll.
Uh,
Because this is quite literally a controlled burn. It is killing the infection that is around there without making his wounds worse.
okay.
But it is
I'll guide his
entirely your
hand.
choice. Okay.
I'm gonna guide his hand.
You want to guide his hand. So you're
Yeah.
gonna roll one time with your bonuses.
God, this
tell
is
you right
probably a
now.
bad choice.
Tell you right now.
Yeah.
You're at a 14. DC's 14.
Oh my
You
god.
can do this.
You should have
Now that you've
told
chosen
me what it was.
Now that you've chosen, I want you to know the stakes immediately.
No. No.
There you go.
So
See, no
with
problem.
my bonus,
Yeah.
21.
Okay. Tom is kind of like, you sure you know what you're doing?
Yep. I'm 100% Tom.
You're a doctor.
Tom,
and-
quit
and
talking.
such?
I gotta do this.
Okay, and Mortar's just like,
You're not helping, Tom.
just holding a lava cannon, and you're like, easy, big fella. Sun's getting real low. As you hold
I'm gonna have
his...
Tito hold Tom's hand.
Okay.
Soothe him.
Tito's like, don't even worry, homie. She's never done this in my presence. You're in hands, okay? Of all of the doctors on staff, she is one of them. Don't even worry about it.
You really know how to hype someone up,
He's
Tito.
not super persuasive. Tito's just there as like a little hype man.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all he does. He's like, don't even worry, bro. It's gonna be fine. He's like, I watched her like completely eviscerate a Tangela earlier. You're gonna
It's
be
true.
fine.
Yeah.
But it's all coming out in the form of like, she's got this.
Yeah.
As you hold Mortar's enormous cannon-like arm over the top,
Okay.
it is like pouring... It's like pouring molten iron into a cast.
Mm.
As this like glowing lava begins to pool down, and you're just guiding Mortar's hand around.
Okay.
And as it starts to hit, you just immediately hear like sizzling and searing.
Oh god.
As
Good thing
you
he's
as you are
out.
able to just coat around
Where the
the
mold
first
is.
like claw mark
Okay.
and just sort of burn that away, and it begins to just cauterize shut.
Okay.
But there's that awful like sizzling. It's like Crisco
Burning
just
flesh.
burning.
That's
the smell
disgusting.
is awful.
Listen,
The
I've
sound
been
is
around
horrible.
the smell of burning flesh. There's a plastic surgery.
Ugh.
They would allow people at my old job to come rent it out, plastic surgeons, and you would burn the flesh. It's the worst smell.
So I'll dance around it, but it's that because that's what it is.
It's awful.
As he's able to burn around the first mark,
Okay.
there are 3.
Oh boy.
So I'm
Is
gonna
that at least the worst one?
So I'm gonna ask you again. Do you want to roll once for Phoebe or twice for Mortar?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh my god! Okay. DC for this one, 13.
Okay.
Because you've done it before. It's getting a little easier, but it's also really stinky in here now.
Tito, can you do something about this?
No.
God damn it.
He's just like... But it's just... He's so small. He's so little. He's so little.
Okay. Medicine.
You do this. Uh-oh.
That's 10.
Okay, well, we can blame Mortar for this one.
No.
As same
Full
deal,
responsibility.
he pours out a little bit more than he means to.
Okay.
He kind of slips, and there's this extra, like, that just scatters on the middle. So it does cauterize the middle scar.
Okay.
But it burns a lot of healthy flesh around there, too.
Okay. Can we take care of that real quick? Can we
Yeah, you can.
just... So
But it's like...
It's burnt flesh.
There's like magma. He basically is trying to drop like a laser thin line of magma.
Right, and instead...
And on the middle one, there's now just a gob in the middle that kind of splashed.
Oh boy.
And it's immediately Mortar like tries to cool it and panics and just makes like a little bit of like igneous rock
Just...
on and in Bentley's wound. And he's like...
It'll be fine. It'll be totally fine. We can totally take that out. Not a big deal.
Don't need this anymore. As Tito's like, gross. Oh no.
Okay. Is that it? Are we...
We gotta do one more.
No!
He has 3 cloud marks. One went flawlessly. One went not as bad as it could have gone, but pretty bad.
Okay. This
One more
time,
shot.
we'll do it with advantage for Mortar.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. You roll one, I'll roll the other.
Okay.
Whichever one is higher, we're gonna subtract 2 from it.
Oh boy.
Oh no! It's a 6 from me.
Why you put this on me?
7. Okay. Mortar is shaken and stirred as he prepares another gout of magma, hand shaking immensely as you're just holding them steady. You're like, all right, big guy, it's gonna be easy. He just goes and just panics and just like quick pours.
Oh no.
And it just sears right into the middle. Doesn't burn away all of the infection, and does a good amount of damage to some important bits. As Mortar's just...
It's okay. It's okay. We got this. We got this.
Through the wall flies a massive gray ghost.
Oh.
And it's the same Dusclops that you bandaged back together and gave wings.
Yeah.
As he's flying through the wall.
Can you help him?
I heard the sounds of surgery going poorly. I promised I would help you, for you have given me wings. Do you need assistance?
Yeah. Please.
The boy has
We even talked this whole time.
infection.
Yeah.
I could, but I was not quite myself when last we met.
Okay. Fair enough.
I needed time to compose. My name is Gadsby.
Nice to meet you, Gadsby.
It's a pleasure to meet you formally, but we should remove the igneous rock from the boy's abdomen.
Yeah.
I was a doctor in my time.
Oh.
I believe if you were to grip the rock with forceps or similar,
Okay.
and sort of pry the wound open, the rock should come out no problem.
Okay.
The burns, however, will need time to heal.
Right. Okay.
But needs must, and sometimes this is necessary for surgery, and just motions to Mortar, who's like...
Yeah.
The hospital is ill-equipped to handle everything.
Yeah.
'Tis a shame.
Yeah.
Anyways, I believe you still have the bandage I gave you. Very
Yes.
good. You should find some forceps and a pair of pliers in your surgery drawer.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, I can't grab them.
Okay, I'll
You
do it.
know,
I'll do it.
Ghosts and all.
Okay. I'm gonna grab the stuff.
Very good. Now, take the forceps, place them on either side of the igneous rock. Try
Okay.
not to chip them.
Okay.
Go ahead and throw me a sleight of hand check.
That.
You do this.
Sleight of
Phoebes.
hand.
Come on, Phoebes. You do this.
8.
8? Okay, you chip off a little bit, and he goes, "That's what I didn't want. We'll fix it later." As a little bit of like chips kind of just fall off, and it's like gravel in a wound, and you're like, "Okay, one thing at a time. Get the big rock out. We'll get the rest out later." You're like, "Very well. Now that the forceps are in place, grab the set of pliers
Okay.
and grip upon the top of the igneous formation."
Okay. A sleight of hand again?
This one you can do medicine.
Okay.
The sleight of hand was mostly to like be
Make
very,
it
very,
bad.
very careful. But at this point, you're like, just get it out of there.
12?
Okay, you take the pliers and you grab the igneous rock and you're like, come on. And you get it part of the way out, and then it just kind of cracks and shatters and just spills into some of the other wounds, and you're like, oh god. But you got the igneous rock out of the middle wound.
Okay.
Thankfully, his far right side is healed.
Totally fine.
More or less. It's burned to heck.
Yeah.
Bentley's gonna be unconscious for a couple weeks regardless. There's not a whole lot you do about that part.
Right.
But at least you're getting rid of some of this infection.
Yeah.
I believe he has some sort of necrotizing infection. It's quite dangerous for living humans and such.
Can you get it as a ghost?
No, it will make him a ghost very soon.
Right.
If not removed.
Honestly, I thought that's what was about to happen here.
Well, it's...
When you showed up, I'm
The
not
boy
gonna lie.
is sort of between states at the moment. I imagine he could tip in either direction.
Oh no, please.
So let's move forward a bit more
Yeah.
carefully,
Yeah.
and I shall guide you a little more closely. So
Okay.
kind of like float down with his big bandaged like a mitts,
Yeah.
and he's like, if only I could just sort of lift through him, would be very helpful, but I can't. This is made of flesh. So,
Okay.
you see those little pebbles held within?
Yeah.
We'll need to remove those.
Okay.
The roll for me, 2d4, we're going to add 2.
Oh boy.
That is the amount of pebbles that are currently in Bentley Woods. I want to know how many you can remove safely.
How many are in him?
There are 10.
10?
10 chunks fell off that igneous rock. Pretty rough.
5.
So 5 plus 2 is 7. So
Okay.
you get 70%. C's get degrees. As you pull 7 of the sort of like rock chunks out of Bentley's middling wound.
Okay.
The middle one is the worst.
Right.
And you do see Bentley's been stabbed clean through.
Okay.
And it's serrated on the top. The bottom of these wounds is exceptionally sharp and clean cut.
Okay.
Looks like a surgeon.
So,
And the top is like barbed and hooked so as to tear extra flesh on the way
coming out. Okay.
And that's where a lot of these rocks have kind of like shifted down into.
Right.
So Bentley is now 3/10 rock type. It's not great. But as Mortar is still just like...
It's all right,
He
Porter.
just
It's all right.
sees you working, and even Tom, he's like, who are you talking to? Don't worry, they can't see me.
I don't know if that's gonna
I
help.
have chosen to reveal myself only to you. And Tito, hello Tito. Tito's like, what's up, dude? What's up, Gadsby? Hello.
I'm talking to Tito.
Tito's like, good save. All right, we have... there are many problems remaining with Bentley.
Yeah.
There is...
But
there
the
is
mold's
still,
gone.
There is still a slight amount of it on that third one, because Mortar did really, really, really poorly.
Okay, but not enough to have him bleed out.
Enough that, as Gadsby will tell you,
Yeah.
the necrotizing disease that he has sort of... I wouldn't say it's gone, but you've removed a substantial portion of it. However, if you would leave what is there,
Yeah.
he will just die later.
Oh, okay. So we
It's,
gotta do it again?
Yeah, I imagine we will have to do it again. This time, however, perhaps not with a lava duck. If I may make the suggestion, perhaps to, at this point, quite literally cut our losses and just use a scalpel and just remove
Heat it up?
bits of flesh
Oh, just okay.
that are
That's a good idea,
remaining.
Gadsby.
Before we pull the remainder of the rocks out of his system,
Okay.
and some of them are quite deep in there, we may need advanced surgery. But that's a problem for the future when the hospital is well staffed.
But that's not gonna harm him.
Well, I imagine it'll just be a bit grating as he walks. It's like internal chafing.
Right.
He'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. I'm going to try to remove more.
Okay.
As much as I can.
For the last bit,
Okay.
it's a medicine check. You can do this.
Oh my gosh.
Believe in you. I believe in you.
16.
Much better. Take a scalpel, an actual surgical tool from this century. Like forceps and stuff. You're like, why do we still have these? But Grimsby's like, in my time, we would simply forceps the ribs open and just remove things left, right, and center until they were healthy again. And then stitch them back up and send them home.
And then bleed them out.
Yes. Leeches were the primary source of wound cleaning back in my day.
That's why I'm surprised Gadsby's not like, just let him bleed out. He'll be great.
Yeah, he appears to be suffering from ill humors of the blood. I believe he's breathed in the miasma. It's very unfortunate. But as you excise the final bits of this sort of weird black bacteria mass of just infected tissue and just kind of pull it away, this time Gadsby will help you guide Mortar's hand down just on top.
Okay.
Rather than risk Mortar again, he's like, it won't be as clean of a burn clothes, but should cauterize about as well as a sort of a clothes iron.
Oh.
It's going to be a bit rough, but his torso's already, you know. In my day, this would be a very well done surgery. As Mortar just kind of presses down on the wound, you just... There's now just a Mortar hand-shaped burn mark across most of Bentley's chest, which does cover for the middle, where there's just a gob of rock that was there, kind of just burns that shut. As Tom is like, I should not have watched that. Just kind of runs off. Oh my goodness, well, what's he doing in a hospital theater if he's not prepared to watch this young boy be burned horribly?
I mean, it's his dad.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he should have left probably.
Yeah.
Oh well, no harm in there. He'll be fine.
Hopefully.
I imagine it's quite all right. Now, I came running back when I heard a ruckus. A bit of a wall exploded.
Yeah.
That's why I'm truly here, but I happened to sense you through the wall. You've got my roll.
Oh. Are we connected now, Gadsby?
Mildly.
Oh, okay.
Connected in the sense that I know the roll is most of the time if I bother to keep track of my things.
Well, you know what, Gadsby? Maybe you could help me.
Well, possibly, yes.
That...
I do have wings now. I'm quite fast. It's very fun.
That is... the explosion was the champion, Blue. Do you know? No. She was before your time. Right? If he's...
That's a fair point.
Would he know the champion? I mean, do ghosts keep up on current events? I know.
He goes, tell me, is the champion still Reginald, what's his name?
No.
Reginald, oh goodness, the name escapes.
No, it's definitely not a Reginald.
It's not Reginald.
The current day champion. The current time.
Your champion, yes.
Yes. She was here.
She?
Yes.
What a very progressive time.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. She was I don't know. I don't know where she went, but.
She just sort of left, went her own way.
Yeah, but I don't know what she blew at the
Well, you
hospital.
know how champions are and all that. They're a very hoity group.
She kind of seems like it.
I can handle myself. I'll go march off, be slain by some beast or another.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Would you be able to follow? There's footprints.
You want me to follow the champion?
Yeah.
But there are so many others in need of assistance here, my dear.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. Are you gonna help?
Well, in the
You're gonna
same way
reveal
I just
yourself?
sort of helped you, yes. There are a few on hospital grounds who can see me. Dr. Hansen is one of them.
Oh, really?
Yes. There's a reason I landed in his hospital room and not anyone else's.
Did you frequently haunt this hospital?
Well, not frequently,
Before?
no. Only when I've sort of unraveled. Sometimes I forget to become incorporeal and I snag myself on a cattle fence. You know how it is.
All right. Well, okay. That's fine. That's fair. You should probably stay here. Plus, you've got your sweet bandage, which, again, thank you for that.
Oh, yes, of course. I imagine it will help you as much as it's helped me in the past.
Yeah.
As long as I don't snag my hand so that I can't work with it.
Yeah, that's true.
This was unfortunate.
He's able to, like, manipulate, right? Unlike when I, like, wrap the bandage around him.
Yes,
it's, like,
he
floppy.
can sort of
He's
articulate.
like, okay.
He's good.
Yeah, okay.
He's got full range of motion.
Yeah,
and now that he's, like, back together, his hands, he's like Rayman. His hands aren't attached.
Oh, okay, okay.
But when this starts to unravel, he's like, oh no.
Okay.
So
okay.
you gather there's some part of this needs to be intact for his arm to move.
Okay.
It's just not there.
All right. Well, yeah, that's what that explosion was.
This is the champion ripping through a wall.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Champions and all that.
Not even the weirdest thing that's happened today, Gadsby.
I dare say you live in very interesting times.
Yeah.
And back in my day, we used to say that as a sort of a curse on someone. May you live in interesting times. But as you can see, it's quite frightening.
Yeah.
My times were very boring. Not a lot going on.
Did you ever, now that you're here,
Yeah.
these blue burns, have you ever come across anything like this in your time?
I can't say that I have. No.
Okay. All right.
Not blue burns. A lot of red and sort of black scorch marks from fire and such.
Right.
Perhaps it was a fire that burned so hot it was blue. Or is it
Maybe.
less
I don't
hot
think
when
so.
it's blue? I know very little about fire.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate your help, Gadsby. Hopefully, we didn't mess Bentley up too much.
Oh, I'm sure the boy will be fine. His vitals look positively grim. That's a good thing. It could be worse. It could be morbid.
God. But you said this mold was what'd you say again?
It is a necrotizing fasciitis, I believe it's called.
Is that something like you can make?
Oh goodness, no! It's an infection. One that sprouts. It is capable of devouring the flesh.
Right. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that was part of this, him being stabbed.
Oh, I imagine if you wanted to really hurt someone,
Yeah.
you could just sort of find a bit of infected flesh, coat a knife or other stabbing implement in it.
That's gross.
It is quite gross. You may find that when the boy wakes up, his vigor is substantially reduced, depending on how long it's sort of been infected.
Okay.
It does
I don't
sort
think
of
it was
eat
too
away at
long.
important bits.
Right. I don't think it was too long.
Well, one can hope.
Okay.
I would hate to see one so young just sort of reduced to,
A vegetable.
hobbling. Well, I imagine he probably will wake up at some point. I don't think his wounds are that bad unless this blue flame that you're so worried about is terrible.
Yeah, I just can't seem to. It's not like a normal burn. It's definitely not fire.
No, it does not appear to be fire in the slightest. Fire causes burns. This is more of like sort of
More intense.
precisely.
Yeah.
Well, it's very nasty. It's quite gross.
Yeah.
Look at the boy. Look near his face. He's got these sort of little things, and he's just poking towards his eyes. His eyes are normal, but he's got these dreadful little things on there. No good at all for seeing. One is much more effective. Because Dustclops just has one big eye.
I was like, what? What is he talking about?
He's like, well, see, you've overcompensated. Where this young man, he's opted for 2 eyes, very inefficient. You've got 4. That's quite good. 1 eye is very useful. 4 is even better.
Are you hitting me with nerd jokes right now, Dustclops?
Precisely. I felt it necessary to lighten the mood. Everyone seems so dour in here, except for Tito, as always.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. All right. Well,
if there's any other assistance you need on the hospital grounds, do let me know.
how do I let you know?
I'll just sort of be in distress, I imagine. I
Should
pick up on
touch
the stress
bandage?
of individuals in the building.
Oh, okay.
You seemed quite under duress when I floated in and the boy had lava on his torso. So
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty stressful moment, Gadsby.
I would imagine. But
All right.
I would be floating about, probably somewhere near Dr. Hansen. He's quite fun to startle.
Okay.
He startles
So
very
you'll just be in the
easily.
area?
Oh, I'm always around. If you need any other assistance while you're here, my range of efficacy is hospital grounds.
Okay.
I must warn you, I cannot stray too far,
Okay.
too long.
Okay.
But I will be around if you need anything.
All right. I appreciate it, Gadsby.
Try not to become cursed by the moon or whatever it is you kids are dealing with.
Yeah, thank you. Was there ever any rumors, by the way, in your time, about cursed moons?
Oh, yes, the moon was all sorts of bad. There were folks like you would turn into wolves, apparently. They would run around. They would get the moon sickness. They were positively barking mad, as they would say.
Nice.
A lot of it was mercury poisoning
Oh, okay.
and fits of insomnia. Back in the day, they didn't have all these fancy lights that you do, so the full moon was sort of irritating to the eyes. You didn't sleep much, and then they would just sort of freak out and such. You know how people are, you know. People are so strange.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, Gadsby.
Yes, of course, anytime.
I'm gonna leave for a little bit, but
Oh, well,
I'll see you around.
yes, I would say don't be a stranger, however, given these circumstances of you being here. I certainly hope it's a while. Not that the pleasure of your company is. I'm going to leave now. I've made this weird. Just flies through a wall.
All right. Well, we've done it, Tito.
He's like,
Yeah, we did it.
just looks over, is like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the best work.
And he just
but
goes, he sends his thoughts and prayers.
God damn it, Tito.
He has a different wish chart than Star does. 34 doesn't do anything, so he's just like, I wish for this boy to make a full recovery, and nothing changes. But he's trying.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's what he can do.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get back to it. Tito, we got places to be,
Okay.
crickets to find.
Yeah, at this point, he's like, where are we going?
Yes.
What are we doing? Now we jump to that moment.
Now we're
that
gonna
happened
go.
now.
Yeah, we're gonna go find crickets.
So where do you go to open Wilhelm Manor?
In Greengate?
Where do you go in the...
Oh, in the
to
Ember
open the
Crag.
door,
I
yeah.
see. Okay, well, I'm gonna... Yeah, I talked to them, told them to page me. Probably... I want to go somewhere where I'm not gonna be seen.
Yeah.
So, like, the outskirts
Okay.
of town.
Yeah.
A little more isolated area
Okay.
where I can get some cover.
Okay.
There's
go
no
like
peering
go to like a
eyes.
tree, and Tito's
Yeah.
like, what are we doing?
All right, Tito, we're laying low.
All right.
We don't want to be seen.
He just lays flat.
You're,
He's like,
you're about to see something really cool.
all right.
And
He's like, is this some kind of weird prank? I'm up behind a tree now. I don't really know what's going on.
No.
And he's like, Shnikes.
We're gonna head in.
Okay. The door to Wilhelm Manor opens for potentially like the first time in a week. I think
Yeah.
Phoebe's just been working around the clock.
Yeah. Just
You walk
like
in and you're
sleeping
just
in
like-
the hospital.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Ruby's there, and she's like,
Hi, Ruby.
she just has like a pot of coffee and like a newspaper. She's like, no one has been here. Like the house has been so empty. What is going on?
Yeah.
You see Pendleton and Ona are just like playing jacks.
Hi. At least it's nice and peaceful in here.
Yeah, they're like, no crazy events. That's Ona's little headset. It's been a
No.
while.
I mean, yes.
In here,
Oh, okay.
no clowns.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. That's good news. Finally, some good news.
Finally, some good news.
Well, that's not true. Bentley's not infected anymore.
That is true. He's also not dead.
True. Yep. Okay.
Nothing happened in the recovery process that would possibly make anything worse.
He's gonna be fine.
Listen, it's fine. It worked out.
He's gonna be okay.
Pendleton will slide you some chamomile tea. He's like,
Thank you. Can you get this is Tito, by the way.
what's up, gang? This is your house?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
All
a
right.
magic house. A little bit like your wish. I'm curious, is being in a little magical area like enhance Tito's wishing or
Not
like his
necessarily.
aura?
I mean, he's positively glowing all the time.
Oh,
He's
right. I was
radiant.
gonna say that's all.
But
it is.
as he's walking around, when he wishes for something,
Yeah.
it just conjures from the manor.
Right.
So he feels cooler.
Right.
He's like,
But that's the
it's
manner.
working. He's like, can I get a biscuit? Whew. My wish came true. He hasn't quite pieced it together.
Okay.
He just thinks he's in your house. He doesn't know how people's houses work.
Right.
He only
That's
ever
fair.
stays in the basement of a hospital,
That's fair.
wishing for things to survive.
That's fair.
He's like, this is a crazy.
House.
Wow.
This is how all humans live.
He's like, you're living good. Wow. He's like, Dr. Ulana gets like staff housing. It's like a broom closet. You've got a whole mansion with like a bunch of doors.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. Well, we're gonna travel. Let's travel.
Okay. Anything else you're gonna handle in that sort of time in the manor in between, or just sleep? Catch up on sleep. Because if you head in for the night, you've got 12 hours before it could open anyway.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna sleep for part of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang out with the squad. Everyone's gonna be out.
Okay. Squad's out.
Yeah. To
Squad's
fully
out, quad's
enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
To take in this time that they can think of whatever they want and enjoy it.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we're back in the house.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That gets been so long. Oh my god.
I do. How long? The scrying orb. If I use it, it takes 4 days.
1d6 days.
1d6 days. Okay. I don't
You
know
have
where I
to
got
roll
4.
the seed again, because that's what you rolled last time. It was 4 days last time.
Okay.
So technically,
Yes.
because you're on like day at this point like 9 or 10,
Yeah.
you could technically have scryed a couple days ago.
Right.
Wanted to. We can play with time a little bit.
Okay.
Up to you.
But I don't
Or
know
you can
about this
save
event
the scry.
happening.
Yeah, if you scry prior,
It's
you're not gonna get anything
from
on
what's
happened.
happened. Right.
But if you want to scry now, you could, or if you want to like wait and squad up with somebody, as Milo is sort of receiving the message, we'll deal with that as we can and have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing at a time. Or you can save it. It's up to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna think on it.
I know we make the joke all the time, but like,
I know.
if you don't want to use it now, you don't have to.
Yeah. What the heck could I look at to be
I don't know.
helpful
I
to
don't know.
reverse?
I don't know. You could look at anything.
I know.
From any time.
From any time.
Yeah.
That's just great cakes.
Alternatively, you could just like pop into Ridgemont's house. Check out his library. You can check out his...
I'm gonna do that
his
first.
vault.
Maybe I'll
Find something that you can scry on
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Entirely your call.
yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
So we're gonna go to the vault.
Okay. At the back of your manor house, where there's that sort of lake, where all the sort of little chitlins kind of hang out, Shirley and Drip and Sage, their little garden. You catch wind of where Shirley's been making her moonshine under some of the berry bushes. You see some jars sticking out, and Shirley's like just moving a bunch of jars in, and is like,
It's just the most unsubtle.
yeah. There is a like cherry wood door.
Okay.
Just kind of, it's almost like the Truman Show, if you're familiar. At the end of that lake, there's just a door.
Like a staircase going up.
Pretty much. There's just a door.
And a door.
On the other side of that lake.
Okay.
But if you think about it, you're like, I gotta go to the vault. It
Okay.
pulls to the edge of the water
Okay.
and just opens up.
All right, Tito, let's go.
He's like, A room in a room. It's outside, inside. What? Crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, you must be crazy rich. Okay. Just follows you in. He's like, how much does this bad boy cost you? You put a lake in here. That's wild.
This is how the top 0.001% live,
He's
Tito.
like, dang. All right. Cool. All right. As you walk in to the door to
Yes.
Ridgemont Manor Library,
Yes.
it's relatively well lit. The last time some of the tots snuck in here, under various circumstances, it was pretty dim.
Okay.
Like, there was literally like one candle, like one spooky book. But for you, brightly lit rows and rows and rows of books.
Okay.
There are poniards like every 20 feet,
Okay.
and they stand like this.
Okay.
How can we help you?
I am looking for probably right now history. The history?
Any particular
the
stretch of
moon.
history of the moon?
Yes.
History of a celestial body?
Yes.
I'll see what I can do. Just hobbles off, and then another one runs up. Have you been helped?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need anything else?
Probably. Just no. You know how it be, life. Am I right?
I suppose. I am a construct.
Well, then you might not really get it.
Likely not.
How many books you have in here?
All of them.
All of them? You
Yes,
got
the
all the books?
collection grows daily.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
As they are written, they appear on the shelves.
Do you have any suggestions? What's your favorite one?
My favorite one,
Yeah.
The Grapes of Wrath. And another one just goes, I prefer Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends.
All right.
It has fun pictures.
Oh my god. The moon. What about God. Anything with source stones in it?
There is a book titled The War and the Stones. Is that what you wish?
That sounds appropriate.
Very well. And he'll just walk off in search.
Goodness.
Because that's a book that's already been described to you, but
Oh, really?
yeah, that's what you guys talked to Cedar about.
Oh.
That one
In
lays
Green
out
Gate?
like the no, back in Fola. During the pre-Ice Age for you guys.
Pre-Ice Age.
Where he talks about the grave tender and the architect of light and the architect of shadow. Prince and stuff. We can go over it again.
Okay.
I have the documents right here.
Okay.
It's the end of the War of the Architects, the subtitle being the Treaty of Green Gate and the Blank Slate Protocol.
Okay.
But because you're in Lord Ridgemont's manor, you get Lord Ridgemont's annotated copies of books, because dude's got nothing but time to
Right.
just read through books and
That's
correct
true.
history.
You have a book about time?
What about time?
How it works? How we can go back in it?
Oh, there is no
And stop
safe way
this.
for mortals to go back in time, as far as we know. There is an unsafe method of going back in time.
There is.
If you wish, it's in the time travel and the repercussions of said practice.
Can this manor
section.
go back in time?
Well, no, not particularly far,
Oh, but it can.
I suppose, but
What-
the
what's-
consequences could be dire.
Why?
Well, we would be resetting a time that is dangerous to do, to live in two times at once. Your memories of the time that you lived through would start to affect the time you were currently living in.
Mm-hmm.
As your past becomes your present becomes your future.
Mm.
To put it lightly, as it is a very confusing subject for mortal minds, you may cause incalculable damage to the timeline that you return to, because you will never return to the same time you are leaving.
So I can't come back?
You will continue in another branch timeline.
Mm.
If you leave this now...
I can't stay in this timeline?
If you leave this now, this present becomes your past. But you can never return to your past, because it is always your present. I told you it is very complicated. We don't have to do this if you don't want to. As the little poniards just... How do I explain time travel?
So you're saying, if I go back in time, I can't come back here to this timeline?
Correct. When you go back in time, that new past becomes your new present. Because you are always in your present.
Right.
So if you go back to your past...
Yes, that becomes my present.
You would be rewriting the future that would lead you to this present.
Yes.
And therefore you will never return to this present, because your present future will become your present then.
But what if that future is better?
That is always a chance, but there is also a chance it is much worse.
Right. I don't know how it gets worse than this situation, but...
It depends how far back you go. Not everything carries over.
Oh.
Time has terrible memory. But if it is your wish, I imagine the Lord of the Manor would be happy to explain to you the minutiae of time travel.
So he can time travel? No consequence?
Not without consequence, no. He abhors the use of the practice, but it can be done.
So he does. Lord Ridgemont doesn't.
He has done it before to the detriment of an entire universe.
Oh, wow. That's,
It was...
And then he hasn't done it since?
Unintended consequence.
Is that our time?
The metal man makes no facial expression, but I laughed because I can't make eye contact for more than 3 seconds.
Don't lie to me.
He'll bring you the book. The guy that you sent off the first time comes back with the War of the Architects book.
Yes.
And he'll kind of like... He can basically summarize it for you very quickly if you want.
Yes, let's do that.
Because this is what you would gain from
Let's
reading
get the
through
cliff
it.
notes.
Mostly because we've already gone through this once before, but it was like 3.5 years ago real
Forever?
time, so I'm not worried about it. So the War of the Architects is set in motion by the defeat of a being known as the Firstborn, and the subsequent demolition of several source stones in quick succession.
Okay.
Which resulted in the formation of the Amberite Sierras and the canyon near Xantha.
Okay.
Those two...
Those were
If you were to take...
Source stone explosions happened.
Yes.
Like
if you
with
were
Crash.
to take the ground that became the Amberite Sierras and flip it into the canyon in Xantha, it would fit like a puzzle piece.
Okay. Question, you're saying this happened, does it say why this happened? No, it just says source
Lord
stones
Ridgemont's
exploded.
book is the reason it now says the defeat of the Firstborn and the demolition of source stones. So that bit is new for Phoebe. So a number of great sources of power detonated one after the next. And it was a ton of them. There were like 6 or 7. Boom, 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 boom.
You're saying sources of power or source stones?
Source stones.
Okay.
Like actual full-on,
Source
like
stones.
the Firestone in Xantha.
Blew up.
The one that detonated the first time it caused an ice age.
Okay.
7 of those events.
Happened.
Chain reaction.
Okay.
One exploded, another one exploded, another one exploded, another one exploded,
Okay.
another one exploded.
Okay.
Done.
Okay.
Whole bunch of mumbo-jumbo history stuff.
Okay.
Grave tenders fighting the prince. They don't get along.
Okay.
We'll play that out at some point. We're gonna play through the War of the Architects. So we don't really
Okay.
have to worry about the minutia of that because that'll change.
Okay.
The biggest thing to note is Lord Ridgemont has notes in his book
Yeah.
of repercussions, casualties. There is now a name listed as Alnamir under repercussions at the back of this book, annotated for himself, basically. Repercussions of
Repercussions of
the
what?
Firstborn.
Of the firstborn?
Yes. which to Phoebe is just a jargon of nonsense.
Yeah.
To folks that have seen Ragnarok, the Firstborn was the first attempt of a creature to ascend and become a prime mind.
Oh.
That was the first attempt to combine the collective knowledge of a species into one organism, and it did not go well. Went very, very poorly, drove the thing insane. You don't have to worry about that part. That's Ragnarok.
Was that a psychic type?
It wasn't Alakazam. There's a reason that the Prime Mind, that title,
Yeah.
has until recently always been held by an Alakazam. They took the collective knowledge of a species
Of the
and put it in a
Alakazams?
single unit,
Okay.
one entity.
Okay.
And then they just had to find something strong enough to contain it.
Okay.
And they finally landed on the Prime Mind that you guys are familiar with,
Okay.
which is now
Gone.
Meatloaf Rooster.
Oh.
So the
He's
entire
the prime mind now?
the entire collective knowledge of all of that psionic energy
Yes. Got transferred.
is now presumably resting in the skull, basically in the arm of Milo Rooter.
Okay.
So the more he draws on that power, he is drawing from literally thousands of years of the Alakazam line,
Knowledge.
using their abilities, gaining knowledge.
Okay.
Lord Ridgemont's book
Yes.
is listing all of this out for you.
Okay.
At the back, that sort of repercussions, he has a couple names written down.
Okay.
Elmar Gregory,
Elmar Gregory?
Yavar Gallet. Don't worry about the spelling on that. I don't think even Jordan knew how to spell his name.
Yavar Gallet?
Yavar Gallet.
Okay.
And I'll cover why these names will be significant to Phoebe in just a sec, but I'll do them all at once.
Okay.
Because the next one's going to trigger. Pollen Watkins
Colin Watkins.
and Perseus Blackwater.
Watkins. Versus Blackwater.
Scrawled in below that, Milo Rooter,
Oh.
Alnamir. There's another name written below, says Ruhan Kess, and that has been crossed out.
Ruhan Kess.
Mm-hmm.
It's been crossed out.
Yes.
Oh boy. So dead?
Mm-hmm.
Question mark?
Crossed out also further towards the top. The name Kirik Rai.
Kirik.
Kirikrai. That one is also crossed out.
Okay.
And these are Lord Ridgemont's recounting of people that have been displaced from his attempt to never have that happen.
The
So
firstborn?
all of those stones detonating
Yeah.
completely destroyed a timeline.
Okay. So he tried to prevent that from happening.
He tried to set it right by taking all of those names with him somewhere else.
Mortal brain trying to.
One of my assistants told me we're looking into the past.
Yes.
Time travel.
Yeah?
Very dangerous. Didn't go well
For you?
for anyone. We left a world to die.
Okay.
There's a reason all of this is possible here.
Okay.
Your world can't do this. Mine could.
The one you left.
Yes. The one I left behind. With those very brave few. On that list there in that book.
And you brought them because they can...
They tried to help me save that world.
Oh, okay.
And in doing so, I got them all killed.
Oh.
So I did the only thing I could think of to do. I brought them somewhere else. Gave them a chance.
So they're here?
They were.
Oh, you mean just in our, like, past?
About 300 years ago.
Okay, okay.
They were
I
here,
see.
yes.
Right, okay.
From what I hear, Blackwater's still doing things.
Yeah.
And, last I heard, Elmar's great, several generations removed, his daughter's doing well. Granddaughter, I suppose. Been long enough. Last I heard, she's doing all right.
Did we meet her?
Elena.
Oh.
From Greengate. Elena Gregory. That's why when that happened, Joel went... Mm-hmm.
Greengate.
Yes, I thought it only fair to give them a chance at a normal life after it was robbed from them by something I was unable to stop.
Are you able to see this future of this world?
What's coming?
Yeah. Or no?
Not,
because it's not...
Not literally, but I can't see things that haven't happened.
Right, okay.
I can predict what might,
Right.
but I cannot tell you with absolute certainty. As I told your friends back in the day, if D were to throw himself from a bridge, there's no way I would see it coming. Be very out of character.
Right.
But if, barring any sort of grand tragedy in your lives, like what I imagine has just happened, I can see a path that you're on,
Right.
but I cannot tell you where it ends.
Right.
And I cannot make you walk it.
Right.
But time travel, of all things.
I don't know. I'm reaching for straws here. Things are bad.
You can always stay here. You don't have to leave.
But then the world just becomes moon-touched.
Yes, but you don't.
Uh-huh. And then
Not
I
a
just,
good solution.
I just live with that in
It
this
is an
house.
offer. You don't have to die for them. They can
For
make that choice
who?
for themselves. Everyone.
I mean, that's... I can't just do that.
That's why I chose you. You don't give up. But I want you to know, until the last, if you change your mind, this doesn't have to be the end for you.
Yeah.
One of your friends recently arrived in my manor.
D?
No. And he'll snap his fingers and Crash will walk through a door.
What?
Yes, I told you I make sure things end up where they need to be. I'm afraid he can't leave with you. But I thought this might be why you were coming to visit. Come on down. And you see Crash,
Yeah.
healed over. No big sore stone on his back, but not the gruesome, blasted
Gross.
out corpse.
Okay. Just section missing.
Yeah,
So he looks like a normal...
he looks
For
like
alligator?
if Crash had pulled through.
Okay.
Yes, he washed up quite literally on the beach. I should show you something.
You washed up on a beach?
Yes, it's quite literal. Please, come with me.
Okay.
There are many secrets to this manor that I feel you are entitled to.
What?
But I didn't want to overwhelm you the first time you were here.
Okay.
He'll walk you down the sort of obsidian and red carpeted, gold columned hallways. To your left, you will find a door that I refer to as the records.
Okay.
The sort of annals of history. When people in your world cross the threshold and don't come back,
Oh.
someone should remember them. And if you go through the right, the creatures of your world, the non-humans, like Crash, I give them the best existence I can. And he'll kind of swing wide a door that opens into an infinite beach and ocean.
Okay.
And there are water types as far as the eye can see.
Yeah.
Millions. There are little sandcastle ghosts and crabbies, and there's squirtles and war turtles and blastoise, all of them perfectly healthy, having a time of their lives, as far as you can see. Your friend Crash here washed up a few hours ago. I haven't seen any of the other tots,
Yeah.
so I knew you were safe. But it figures CJ would have caused something to happen.
Yeah.
He should have taken my offer. Could have just been harvestman. Would have been so much easier for all of us.
Probably.
But this is just one room of hundreds, like this. It's not life, but it's best I can do.
Is it like a construct? Like you just create?
A new room appears when we reach capacity.
But is it like
This is
Crash?
Ocean Room 11B.
Right. So every person or Pokemon that passes away, you...
Before their time, yes. If they don't pass of natural causes,
Oh, okay.
they come to me.
Okay. Okay.
Where with humans, they get sorted to the ballroom until I figure out where they need to go.
Wouldn't that be the grave den?
If he did his job, yes.
Not doing his job?
Not often enough.
Mm.
I handle the creatures.
Oh, okay.
It's simpler, but there are so many more of them.
Yeah.
When the grave tender is doing what he's supposed to be doing and not endangering the lives of a 12-year-old and his friends, he is the one that will come to collect those that are ready to move on.
Okay.
Those that cannot accept that they are dead remain here with me. Which is why the ballroom appears differently for those who are awakened.
Hmm.
You may have sensed your friend's discomfort the first time we were here.
Yeah.
The ballroom appears as elegant as one allows it to.
So, it's not really them, right?
What do you mean?
Like, that's not Crash.
If he is truly dead outside the walls of this manor,
Yeah.
then it is Crash.
Like like a ghost? Or...
He'll kind of walk over and pick you up.
So he's not a... What? I don't understand.
He has been shuffled off the mortal coil
Okay.
and brought here. In the same way that you and I can shake hands.
Okay.
And yet if I were to leave this manor,
Uh-huh.
you may not even be able to see me.
Okay.
Crash, by all accounts, as far as he's told me, was ripped from your time, your world, very quickly.
Does he remember what happened?
He does not. It is a mercy of their death they don't remember.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I
Though
probably
I
want to know.
hate to burden you with this. He simply wishes to know where CJ is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Very
I think that it was the Oni, and I'm assuming you know what the Oni is because you're Lord Ridgemont. So, do you have any way of knowing where he is? Like,
Let me show you another thing.
even a
Another
general.
useful tool.
Okay.
D helped himself to it a few nights back, but I don't hold a grudge.
Okay.
And he'll lead you across the hall yet again to his large vault space.
Okay. Where he put like the tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And in this room, there is a massive, like 20 by 30 pool of just liquid silver. Similar to the scrying orb that I left with you.
Yeah.
This should allow you to see any point in history. And I will make sure that you are shielded from its adverse effects. D was quite lucky. But
Did he
did use this, yes.
Did he see that moment?
No,
Oh.
no, he was more interested in Perseus Blackwater, and
Oh, okay.
the history
His-
of the galleon that his father gallivants around on these days.
Okay.
But the mercury pool has a quite substantial capability to drive mortals insane, as it is mercury vapor, and a lot of it. So I will make sure that you're shielded when we go inside.
Okay.
But if you wish to see the Oni for yourself,
Yes. Actually, you know what?
it is quite well shielded from most manners of scrying, but not this one.
Okay.
The scrying orb you are in possession of would likely not be able to find it, as the Oni, as you know it, is not an identity that it
Right.
could find. However, he'll clap and the whole mercury pool will just kind of pulse for a moment and resemble Wadalonga,
Okay.
in a way.
Right.
There's only one building in Wadalonga. It's the Cajun Crocodile. And it's floating as the whole pool of mercury rises about 3 feet. You just see the Cajun Crocodile just bobbing along on top. And if you were to look below, there are just hundreds of little whoopers and quagsires holding this building up.
Okay.
And the rest of Wadalonga is just flooded completely, which
Right.
is not new news.
Right.
Y'all
Right.
heard the news broadcasts.
Right.
But swimming beneath the surface is a gigantic feraligator. Swimming the streets, making sure everything stays where it's meant to be.
Okay.
As it's just kind of encircling around.
Is that the one we saw before, or I guess
Yes.
CJ? Okay.
Yes, this is the one that you guys are, at very least, you are like passingly familiar with.
Right. Okay.
It helped you kill the
the
giant
big.
Majesticar.
Yes. Okay.
But as it's kind of swimming around, Ridgemont will just part his hands, and you can see the front facade of the Cajun Crocodile just peels open.
Okay.
I believe this is roughly when our stone-breaking friend showed up in town.
Okay.
You just see a very, very nondescript person show up.
Okay.
If you were to picture human guy,
Yeah. How Joel
average
used to
height,
describe
just
things.
perfectly average.
Yeah.
Average height, average build, short brown
Like
hair.
forgettable.
Yes, immensely forgettable.
Okay.
I believe that's our man. As he walks onto the deck of the Cajun Crocodile, after swimming in, Remy kind of helps him to his feet, ushers him inside. There's no sound from the table, sadly, but you just see like a little tiny Mercury Remy beckoning this guy in. He'll walk in, take a seat at the bar, pounds a couple drinks, and then just takes a corner seat and just watches.
Okay.
And days go by. And this guy's just sitting in the corner, just watching everybody party. But he's so forgettable,
Everyone's not even
nobody cares.
looking at him. Okay.
Then a familiar name you see appear in the Mercury out on the docks, walking into the Cajun Crocodile. Fisk. At his side are two little rats, Mercy and Grace, which that may or may not be new info for you, but again, it's been 4.5 years regardless. As they walk into the Cajun Crocodile, each Rattata holding onto a side of Fisk's legs, sort of guiding him. He's got seeing eye Rattatas. They guide him to a corner, and Remy and Diego help him up the stairs and show him to a third floor room on a corner so that he can kind of look out over Lake Lahana, which is now just all of Wadalonga. And as he stands perched on the balcony, eyes forever unseeing, the two Rattatas... This is going to be a really downer episode. I'm sorry, guys. The two Rattatas turn and wave to Diego and Remy as they head back down the stairs.
Okay.
That's when our man stands up.
Great.
Ushers his way over, kind of passes by Remy, shakes his hand again, arm on the shoulder, just making enough of a scene. Makes his way up to that third floor, over to that balcony room. Pushes the door open. Fisk makes no motions, doesn't turn or move or see anything, as you imagine light would be spilling into this room, but alas, Fisk cannot see.
Yeah.
The two Rattatas kind of look very curious at this guy, take a couple cautious steps forward, and you see that sort of average facade immediately drops into a massive, hulked over werewolf, for lack of a better word. Long, serrated, barbed, hooked claws pool out of the end. As it shoots the claws out, the two on the outside each pierce through one of the Rattatas. Still, Fisk doesn't turn. The claws very quietly pop back in, and there's a moment of pause as the Oni makes no motions, just watching. But Fisk doesn't move, just stands staring out there. Didn't have the best hearing.
Oh. I was like, is he...
Walks up behind Fisk, snaps his neck, turns his head fully around. Grabs him by the collar, drags him to a room across the hall where there's some like barrels and some equipment stacked up, tosses him in the corner, takes a look at him up and down, and begins to kind of shimmer in the mercury and look like Fisk. He goes and he stands back out on that balcony. And you see where with Fisk he stood motionless, this Fisk has one sort of woven ear just craned down over the side of the balcony, seemingly just eavesdropping on the crocodile, just listening and waiting. A couple more days pass. Nobody finds Fisk's body.
Everyone's just...
A couple people check on him.
and think it's Fisk.
You see Diego more than once head up there with some food, offer to help him eat it. It's always declined. Till Bentley and CJ show up.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Bentley and CJ seem to be chatting for a while with Remy, talking with Diego. They hang out with Ty. You see them kind of hanging out at the bar, getting a couple drinks. They start dancing. CJ falls over on the ground. Bentley lays next to him. They send out all their Pokemon. Everybody's running around, having a great time. Fisk immediately kind of reacts as Crash is initially just running around the crocodile.
But it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do anything. As they lay on the floor, you eventually see Remy head over, grab their packs, call back their teams, and just kind of scoop them up with Diego, get each of them into a room. Doesn't leave them together, just finds a spare bed where they can sleep it off.
Okay.
Fisk still doesn't move, just listens. Bentley awakens with a tiny little slug just sitting on his eyes. He tries to pull it off and fails. It's a random detail that happened. I don't know what to tell you. It was there. It occurred. There's a shellos on his face, and he just couldn't roll to get it off his face. So he walks upstairs to Fisk's room. They appear to start talking. CJ wakes up, heads to the roof of the Croconaw, sends out Crash, jumps on his back, and then points out towards the lake, and then stops, jumps off with Crash, heads back into the Croconaw, opens the room where Fisk's body is, starts looking for something. Sees a fishing pole, other stuff. He's kind of just loosely looking around, and then he sees a pair of boots sticking out from behind a box. He moves the box, and you can see the rest of Fisk. You see CJ immediately panic and scream. You see his little Mercury man. You see in that moment, the Oni's ear flicks away from Bentley. Claws come out, stab into Bentley, and hold him up. They're there for a couple seconds. CJ comes running around a corner. The claws retract, and Bentley falls limp. The Oni then shimmers, and you see another little Bentley come walking out. CJ comes around the corner. Bentley points into the room frantically, tries to run in. CJ runs in first. Long Claw comes out, gets CJ in the back, and throws him. Crash comes running from behind. Combat breaks out. Rose. Growl. Rose pops out over top of Bentley, tries to heal him up. It's not working, as you now know.
Right.
Those claws don't allow you to heal.
Right.
At least not effectively.
Yeah.
So she gets him conscious, but not really stable at all. She's panicking.
And is CJ just on the floor?
No, CJ is up, knives in hand.
He's been
guns.
stabbed, though.
Yes.
He has
been stabbed in the back.
Okay.
And
Does
is
he have
trying
the
everything he
same-
can. Seems to, but he didn't get hit as hard. Where Bentley, you were able to see it was a pretty dirty, like, surprise hit.
Okay.
Where it just caught him right in the gut.
Yeah.
And then on the retract, he just dropped.
Right.
It's a lot of damage.
Right.
They fight for real time, 12 seconds.
Okay.
The Oni is fending off hits left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Evangeline and Remy show up in the doorway. So to give you your CSI, you've got Bentley prone, Rose laying on top of him. You have Growl on the other side of the Oni, where CJ is.
Okay.
So they're on opposite sides.
Okay.
You've got Evangeline, you've got Remy.
Okay.
And you have Crash to one side and Mortar to another.
Okay.
And the Oni, as soon as Crash is in the room, diverts all attention to his back.
Oh no.
Hits his back, takes his licks. 6 seconds later, hits his back again, and the entire pool of mercury shudders for a second. As there's then, it just pools into a big, like, globe. And then, is flat. And you just see bodies floating everywhere. You see Bentley, Rose. You see Crash, just bobbing up and down. 2 names you don't see. The Oni and CJ. As Ridgemont just looks down and says, regrettably, as far as the Mercury table is concerned, CJ and the Oni are no longer among the living. And given the deal that he made, I have no way of verifying if he's dead. If the grave tender and I were on better terms, I would see if that slime ball has seen him roll through his gates. Because he has not been through mine. But neither has the Oni. So as far as I can tell, they're either alive and beyond the realm of supernatural tracking,
Okay.
or there's nothing left of them to track. I cannot determine which. This moment is familiar to me. We spoke earlier of time travel.
Mm-hmm.
This was how I did it. But on a much smaller scale. Enough energy to break space and time. To rip a hole open into your world and bring my friends through.
Mm-hmm.
To give them a chance. And now, CJ's family has figured out a way to build a creature that can do it on command. This Oni could release enough energy to do it, if destroyed.
A new timeline?
Potentially.
Or a different one?
Don't know. As far as multiple timelines are concerned, I am only aware of the one I came from and where we landed. And I have never wanted to try it again.
Just to clarify here, when the Oni broke the source stone,
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it normally absorb it? So it didn't absorb it? It got taken out with the hitting it?
That I can't tell. I have never known a creature capable of withstanding the explosion of a source stone.
Yeah.
Crash is a prime example.
Yeah.
If this thing is better than the last one that you and your friends destroyed and dismantled,
Yeah.
I imagine it took this on quite handily. And from what I've been able to find, it is now in possession of 7 source stones.
But you don't know where it's at?
I cannot track it. I don't know what they did to it. I don't know how.
Yeah.
It is the only being in this entire world I cannot locate.
But,
and now I cannot find CJ either.
Yeah.
Which tells me he must be with him.
Mm.
Because the alternative is they both disintegrate.
So they're either dead or they're somewhere and you just don't know where.
Yes. I wish I had better news. I do. I've been trying.
There's got to be a way that they're tracking it. There's no way you release that thing out into the wild.
They surely must, but their technology and my magic do not play well together.
Mm.
A recommendation.
Fair, yeah.
Send whoever's left of your friends. Maybe join them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Find a data server somewhere. See if you can track it.
Yeah.
That's all I have. I don't know much else. As much as I dislike CJ, he's too young to be destroyed at 12.
Yeah.
And as for Bentley Woods, I'm simultaneously proud and disappointed.
For
He was meant to maintain the balance. Failed miserably at that, but seems like he's on a decent path now. Mother's taken note of him.
Oh. Yeah.
Or at least she did until this happened.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, she views him as responsible.
For the...
I do not know exactly what transpired, but...
Oh, for this situation?
Yes.
Wadalonga?
Yes. In some way, his actions led to the death of no fewer than 27 human lives. Which... she's not a fan of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't burden you with who has come through my gates, as you may know them, but rest assured they'll be looked after until the time comes. When they come to terms with what's happened and they're ready to move on, they'll make it where they're supposed to go.
That's the records room, right?
That's the ballroom.
Oh, that's the ballroom.
Yes, the records room, once they get sorted off to where they're meant to be.
Oh, then it's a record of that?
Then whatever remains will go in there.
Oh, okay.
I wish I had better news. Phoebe, I really do. But I say again, the offer stands. You don't have to go back there. This Oni, if it continues to gather these stones in the way that it just did, its power could easily rival that of my mother.
So if it comes, if it comes across the champion, we're screwed.
Unless your champion is as formidable as they say. But even then, to win is to potentially destroy the timeline.
Because it has so many source stones now?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Now again, my recommendation, find out what its creators know of it.
Right.
There must be a way to shut it down.
Yeah.
No one's foolish enough to set a weapon loose without a plan B.
Right.
But...
hopefully, at least.
But if they were...
You'd be surprised how stupid we are.
I wouldn't, but... I take solace in knowing that some of you are intelligent.
Barely.
And some of you make for good conversation, and others make for good conversation topics. When Bentley awakens, I would caution him against invoking her symbol. At least
your mom's?
for a while.
Because she's pissed at him?
More ambivalent now.
Okay. No, I mean, that's
I
good...
did try to tell a lot of you she's not particularly invested in any one of you.
Right.
Helios was a gamble, I will admit. Did not pay off, but there must be balance. For the moon to rise to power, it's only fair the sun should have a champion as well.
Yeah,
It was a gamble, it didn't pay off, but now the sun has your champion, so maybe that'll work better. Who knows? I can't say.
Right.
If Kyrie is anything like Kirik, she'll do the right thing in the end. But I doubt it. She seems a bit more violent. I don't envy your position. I truly don't. You're too young, all of you, for this, but if you and Dee and Milo want out, my door is always open. If you want to drag Bentley's body in here, he's welcome as well, but I think he may need some medical treatment first. I'm not qualified to handle whatever kind of burns it causes when you detonate a source stone.
Don't even know anymore.
Well, I fear I have 27 new arrivals to tend to. I hate to leave you, but needs must.
All right.
I'll be in the ballroom if you need anything.
Okay.
Good luck, my dear. And he'll see himself out.
Catch you later. I'm gonna turn it Tito.
Tito's like... He's like, is that your dad?
No. Oh, no. We're so screwed, Tito. No, I don't. He's a. I don't even know how to describe him. How would you describe Lord Witchbot?
Is he God?
Close enough.
Tito's like, I should have wiped my feet. Was I supposed to bow or something? Like,
no.
Is he chill? Like,
yeah. He's chill.
And Tito will just go, and he's got a little red velvet suit. And he's like, all right.
Oh, God. Okay, well, can I I'm gonna use the scrying orb.
The orb or the pool?
Oh, I can use the pool without Lord Ridgemont?
Yeah.
Okay.
He just, there's literally a madness factor for it.
Oh.
But if he knows you're using it, he can suppress it for a while.
Suppress it? Okay.
But he was like, I'd like to use the scrying pool, and then went. And I was like, okay.
Do you turn crazy?
No.
You have to roll for it? Is that what you're saying?
I rolled for it, but
Roll.
he did okay.
Roll for sanity?
Yeah. There's a chance that you just get like mercury poisoning and just go insane.
Go bananas?
Yeah. Because it's a lot of mercury. A lot of mercury for a young mind to be sniffing.
To be sniffing?
Yeah.
Just swimming in it?
Yeah. But because the mercury pool
Yes.
basically just picks up on what you're thinking about. So whatever you're like, I'm curious about this thing, it will just show you what it knows about it. And the cool thing about this thing is it ignores timelines and possibilities. It just shows you what was. In the same way that your scrying orb does, but your scrying orb gives you audio as well. This just gives you a wider range visual.
Okay.
So there are reasons for both.
Right. But if I do try to use the pool, I'm going to have to try to not be crazy.
No, because Ridgemont knows that you want to use it.
Oh, okay.
To put it in game terms, he has to use like a suppression spell on it. He'd be like, okay, let me deactivate this effect for you.
Okay.
It's to prevent other people from like breaking in and seeing like the moment of their death.
Right.
Because that would drive you insane anyway.
Okay.
So it's a deterrent on there.
Okay.
So the more someone uses it without authorization, the worse it is.
So first things first, this is not to look at a point. Can I see exactly where Crickets is?
Yeah.
Just so that I'd be able to go
find
there?
Crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll show like a huge overhaul of like a bunch of trees, and you see Crickets marching back and forth in front of a fleet of other impudimps. And he's just
classic.
And they're all like trying to stand at attention, but like they don't know what that is. So they're all just doing this.
The default.
Because it's gonna keep coming up.
All normal people do this.
Yeah, all normal people do this.
And just talking or
Witches
standing
do this.
around.
Wizards do this. They're incompatible. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, as they're all just kind of standing like that, you can see Crickets, and it pans out and it gives you like coordinates.
Okay.
Effectively.
Cool. So I'm just gonna denote that.
It just seems to be chilling in
So
front of his squad.
So we can go there, and then, then is it possible to see, like, the location of where the Oni was made? The moment?
Do you want the moment or the location? Like the location right now, or do you want the moment the Oni was made? Two different
Right.
times, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, like the moment. Could I see, like, the sort of, I guess, building process?
Yeah, that'll be kind of gross, but yeah. This what else is new? This whole episode's just gross and also sad. Let me grab stonebreaker.exe, baby. Let's go. Okay. I will say it's easy enough for you because you have
Just watched it?
you've literally seen the actual
Pony?
Stonebreaker project.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like you have looked at their
They're
reports of it.
Okay.
So you are able to basically see, in time-lapse form, a perfectly ordinary Zoroark
Okay.
strapped to a table
Okay.
with a massive, like, needle syringe that is just, it's like this thick.
Oh.
And you can see like a little heart monitor. It's all on this little mercury table.
Okay.
You see Euphemia Jaspers, which might be a new name for you or not. But Euphemia Jaspers working. You see overseeing this process is a sort of silhouetted, suited man by the name of Theophilus Jaspers.
His dad?
Presumably. I don't even know if CJ remembers his dad's name.
I don't think he did because he's supposed to.
No, sorry. It's Theodosius Jaspers.
Theodosius.
Theophilus that was his brother.
Oh.
Theophilus is Theo Jr. Theodosius.
Decius.
It's a whole... They're so pretentious. We had so much fun. So yes, so you see those two kind of overseeing it. As this big needle punches down, it punctures straight into the sternum of the Zoroark.
Okay.
And the heart rate immediately like accelerates. And you can see, well, it's all in silver, but the sort of silver liquid just punch into the center of the chest.
Okay.
And the thing flatlines.
Okay.
And they grab two large, like glowing yellow chunks of this mercury, as far as you can tell. And they stick it on the front of it. And two like heat presses come down. Almost like two big like decompression paddles.
Okay.
Stick on top of the two chunks of electric source stone.
Okay.
And compress them into the chest. And the heart restarts. So you have steel and electric being chunked in. As this thing is forcibly killed and brought back to life for the reintroduction of more source stones.
So the needle injection was a source stone?
The needle injection appears to have been steel.
Just injected
Similar to like
in?
Wolverine, they changed his bones to be steel. Then they...
What the... What?
Yeah. Then they put two electric source stones in its chest to restart its heart.
And then...
Every time it dies.
Oh my god.
Then you see another vat.
So are the electric stones a part of it?
They are inside the flesh.
Okay.
There are entry wounds.
Okay.
But they are inside the flesh. The third one that is poured in there, the one that you guys are aware of already, is dragon. The dragon stone is poured in there and the face elongates. And you can see like these weird like reptilian snouts kind of begin to perch out and the fangs get incredibly sharp. And the claws start to come out. As you guys may or may not remember, the first time you discovered this thing, you knew it was electric dragon, steel, and 3 classified footnotes. I no longer have to classify those for you. As you're aware, post-crash, it now has water as well.
Okay.
But it did not have water before.
So, okay, so it's got water, electric,
Dragon
steel.
and steel.
Dragon and steel.
And then as we're about to explain for you, it's got a couple more in there, which
Mother
is
God.
just really unfortunate. But, you know, here we are. Over the course of several weeks, they've got this thing strapped to the table, and it dies 3 or 4 times a day.
Jeez.
And they just defibrillate it and they bring it back. They just won't let him die. They inject a dark stone that just pours in, and you see this just sickening mercury aura all around this thing as its eyes kind of roll over and back, and they're replaced by like almost gemstones, and it's just having a heck of a time. You see a fairy stone get injected. Same deal with the eyes and sort of an aura pop on there.
Where are they getting all these stones?
And a fighting stone.
Oh, great.
As you see the muscles just ripple and shift, but more importantly, when the fighting stone is injected, the Zoroark's natural ability to kind of alter its shape, for the first time it presents as a human, instead of just another Pokemon. So that fighting stone gives it the molecular structure of a human being.
But it could, just as a Zoroark,
It could be any
change.
Pokemon at all, but it
Okay.
couldn't be people
until got
until
injected.
they did this.
Until he got injected with the people stone.
Yeah. And then you see a couple months of containment for this thing.
Okay.
And it is writhing in pain, slamming itself against walls, trying to die, and they won't let it. And the whole time, Euphemia is standing there with a clipboard, just writing. And these appear to be the notes that you guys were receiving.
Okay.
Until one day. One day. One horrible, fateful day, which in world time would be known to you as the day that you guys were hit by the rocket kill squad.
Oh,
and
okay.
Theo Jr. was killed.
Okay.
One day, that Zoroark has just been broken mentally. It just sits in a room waiting. And Euphemia opens the door and it immediately moves to kill her.
Yeah.
And she just pulls out a small device, and it collapses. She says a few words, steps to the side. The Oni rises to its feet. And takes off like a shot. Leaves that facility. And at this point, you'll get to know where.
Okay.
As it kind of crashes through this steel bunker door, it's a place you are unfamiliar with. It's a route you've never been on.
Okay.
But as it covers hundreds of miles in a zigzag pattern, you know it's in the Laris region.
Okay.
But the first place that it goes is Green Gate. But it can't get in. It doesn't understand how to enter.
Mm.
And it still doesn't seem to be in full control of how or when it looks like anything.
Oh, okay.
It is just a jumbled mess.
Okay.
And then it heads over to Xantha. And it seems to be every couple days, its head twitches, and it picks a new heading, and it heads off.
Okay.
And you're able to piece together all the places that you guys have all been.
It's going there, checking it off.
Every couple days, when its head twitches, you're like, that's when we went here.
Mm.
That's when we jumped here. This is when we jumped here. And eventually it tracks you guys to Green Gate. And you can see the place you camped before jumping to Ediola. And it's parked there because the trail went cold. And it's waiting. And it's waiting. Then its head twitches. And it takes off like a shot. And it heads off in the direction of Ediola, barreling past Xantha before screeching to a halt and running back the other direction, because you guys did a lot of backtracking.
It's probably so pissed.
And at that point, as it's headed towards Green Gate and it loses the trail once again, it just heads southeast. And it walks to Wadalonga, and it sees a guy on a route. And takes the form of about a 5'10", short brown hair, very nondescript looking person.
Does it have to kill the person to be able to take its form?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But it did, the first time, take all of his gear.
Oh, okay.
It has a trainer ID, a
Right.
backpack,
Okay.
all of that stuff. Things that every person would have.
Right.
And you can
Okay.
see its mouth moving the whole way from Fola down to Wadalonga. It's just talking to itself.
Oh.
And it's just saying things and trying gestures that look
Oh.
extremely unnatural.
It's trying to learn how to fit in.
Mm-hmm. And then it eventually arrives in Wadalonga, where it waits.
Where we know what
About
happens.
a week and a half. And every once in a while its head twitches at that bar as you're kind of catching up to modern day. And its head will twitch, and it fights the urge to move, and you can see the fingernails in the side of that table have just been digging, as if it's sort of resisting the urge to track whoever it's hunting. It's just waiting. Until its quarry literally walked through the door.
Right.
The ultimate gamble from the Oni player, but
right into the...
but it literally worked immediately, and I was blown away. It's like unbelievable. The Oni player says, I don't know where they haven't been. He's like, you know what? Screw it. I don't know how they're moving around. He's like, can they fly? God, I can't tell you. He goes, I go to Wadalonga. I just wait. I'm like, all right. He goes, they haven't been here in a while. He's like, they always circle back to places. They're always going wherever.
It's true.
He's like, I'm not going to.
It's true.
They go, I'm not going to Etoile. I'm not doing that. And I'm like, okay.
Voila.
He goes, I'm waiting in
I'm
Wadalonga.
not going.
He's like, someone's going to show up here that's going to know him. They've spent enough time in all of these towns. Somebody knows him.
No, not wrong.
And then he goes,
Not wrong.
he goes, that blind guy seems like a really easy target. And I'm like, you monster. Monster.
No. Leave Fisk.
Yeah, so that'll catch you up. But I will tell you, because of all of these sort of ping pong,
Yeah.
about a third of the way between if you were to head from Oriander up to Greengate, up Route 102. That's where the Oni originated.
On somewhere in 102?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a bunker door on Route 102. And that is the door that the Oni threw open, saw the sun for the first time in potentially years.
Right.
And then just set off on its journey.
Okay. So somewhere there's some kind of bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But if you try to concentrate on that bunker,
Yeah.
after the point that the Oni left,
Yeah.
nothing comes up on that table.
Okay.
Like, you can pan the whole route, even though you've never been on it. You can pan it and look. There's nothing.
There's nothing. Okay.
So whatever facility this thing came out of, as soon as the Oni left, it went completely offline.
Okay.
Like, supernaturally so.
Right. Almost like the manor.
Almost like the manor.
Okay, so there is a thingy that controls it that they have.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably where CJ was brought. Okay, well.
But around that time, if you so chose, because you've been in Ridgemond's Manor for a good long while, your door can open.
Yeah. Where Crickets is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as your door opens, you swing the door open. Crickets is mid-speech to all his impudence.
All right, guys, so our next raid has to be 10 times better. No, 100 times better. We need new recruits. I need better salvage. Whoa!
Crickets! Crickets?
I think I'm having a heart attack. Am I
Did
dying?
you see the manor?
Am I dying?
No, you just swing the door open behind him while he's mid-speech.
Okay. I thought he had seen it.
He's like, oh my god. You can't just do that to a guy.
Sorry.
I'm addressing the troops.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
It's important, though.
As even all the impudence are like,
scatter! No! What's up?
Crickets, I feel like you've seen...
The end of days?
Yeah, are coming.
Nightmares come real?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I've seen everything. Nothing surprises me anymore.
That's
Except
good.
for you appearing out of a tree
Well, that was just
in
more
the middle of
the
my speech.
surprise factor, yeah,
Yeah.
than being that crazy.
Well, you told me to keep an eye on the forest. And,
Yeah.
and then I realized I didn't have any way to get in contact with you.
That's true.
So I kind of forgot a lot of it. But, I mean, on the whole, it's been pretty quiet up here.
Nothing crazy
It's
has
just
been
like
happening.
it's like a beast rolled through a couple weeks ago. It's
Oh,
no big
really?
deal, though. Yeah, it was like a wolf who was really mad.
Where-
I think it was like partially not, and it was kind of wolf again, and then it wasn't. And then I tried to think really hard, but I couldn't find you, so I just made a mental note of it.
And when do you know where it came from?
No. Just running
Just showed
north.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Came running up, so me and the boys, we laid low.
That was a good call, Crickets.
I don't think we can take it. There's a big metal cat or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mess with that.
No. Unfortunately, I have to try to find it. That's
What?
not why I'm here,
You
Crickets.
want to find that thing?
No, I don't want to, but I have to.
Oh, you want help?
Yes.
Me and the boys. We're kind of itching for a new score.
Okay,
You know what
well,
I'm saying?
I mean, while I would like help with that, Crickets, I do have a different thing I need help with.
You're busy.
Yeah.
One calamity at a time, lady. Jeez. All right, what do you want?
Can you?
We're available.
Yes. Can you, Crickets, follow? Do you know about the champion with the Crickets?
No, who's that?
Okay. It's a person like me,
Okay.
but they have a crazy, crazy strong team. Like, insane crickets. You thought that werewolf thing was
Like those
bad?
guys that were traveling with you.
Kind of,
Wow.
but crazier.
That's not possible.
So it should be
I have
pretty
no frame
easy.
of reference. How strong are you on a scale of like 1 to 10? Be honest.
Probably like a 5 crickets.
5? What am I? Be honest. Compared to you, could I take you in a fight?
I mean, I don't want to fight you, crickets.
I mean, you beat up the boys pretty good.
Yeah. But that was with help.
Yeah, so what am I at a 10?
Like, mono v mono.
Yeah.
It would be bad, crickets. I'm like a 3 without help.
No, well, like, what am I compared to your team? I need a frame of reference.
Compared to my team or me?
Like your team.
No.
You don't fight, do you?
No.
Well, then, yeah, your team. Team fights.
I don't know, crickets. You're
Well, like Big Monkey.
Well, you beat that big cat.
Yeah, but the Big Monkey beat me. Like, real hard.
Yeah, that's true.
He was gonna eat me.
That's true.
Your friend with the fork was like, yeah, kill him.
I mean, you're probably like a 6, crickets.
I'm a 6. I'll take it. Hot dog. I thought I was like a 2.
But you're not just like strong.
I'm an intellectual.
Yeah.
I've really hard war.
You're clever. Crickets.
Keep going. More of that. Let's hear some more of that before you tell me where I'm supposed to go.
I just need help
Alright.
tracking someone, crickets.
Why didn't you
I'm
just
trying to
say
find
so?
her. I'm trying to
Trying to
find
find
a
a
champion.
champion?
Yes. Well, just keep tabs.
Okay. Where is she?
I don't know. That's
Last known location, anything?
Ambercrag. I can show you footprints.
Where's that?
It's a city.
Okay.
That's
Am I
kinda
welcome
close.
in there?
Yes, you are welcome, crickets.
Sick. All right, where do we leave?
Are you coming alone? Or are you bringing your squad?
I'm bringing the boys.
All right, cool.
We need a
But
big score.
You're just laying low, crickets. You're just following, tracking.
Boys, we're laying low.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and the boys got it.
Okay, cool.
So where do we leave?
I mean, now.
All right, boys,
we go on
pack
the
it up. Yeah, we don't have anything. We just walk around. So.
Okay. All right. Cool.
All right, boys, come on.
Cool. I'll bring you back when we're done.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Free cab fare. Let's go.
Guys, our Uber's here.
Yeah.
A squad, Charlie group, let's go. I heard these terms from these guys with like little headsets and stuff. I've been incorporating their lingo into my routines.
Well, actually, speaking of that, crickets, have you ever had weird dressed people and like
Yeah,
did
you.
Team Rocket wear out weird outfits?
Well, they wore like the kill squad stuff.
That was the kill squad, though.
Yeah.
Like the regular rank and file.
No,
it's not like the.
Unlike the
The anime?
show they're walking with a big R.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder who that guy is. I'm not a criminal at all. I promise.
And the little hats, the hats.
My name is Roger. This is R for Roger.
R for Roger.
No, they wear pretty much like plainclothes stuff.
Okay. So he wouldn't be able to discern them from a regular person.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a very good business model if they could just identify you
With your
if your
outfit.
whole criminal organization
Were they wearing
wears
this
the
outfit?
same blue and white striped shirt and bandana.
Yeah.
You're probably a criminal. You may say profiling. I say you're making it too easy. Anyways,
Okay. All right.
thank you for coming to my TED Talk about why the rocket uniforms are dumb.
Crickets,
Yeah,
you have to be real careful.
always.
All right, cool.
Me and the boys have been working real hard.
How do we? You know what? Let's go in the house, crickets.
All right,
All right,
boys,
all
you're
right,
not gonna
boys.
believe this place.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, it's nice.
How many are there?
there's like 20.
Oh
There's like
shit!
20 boys.
Wasn't expecting that many. I thought
No,
it was
he's a
like
whole
5.
squad. He's a whole squad.
Okay.
He took over
You took it
for
over. The
for
mediums-
Ringy's outlet, but only like 4 were still alive, so he's been recruiting.
Cool. All right, crickets. You're just the man
He's
for
doing
the
better
job.
than most of my NPCs right now, let's be honest. I don't know. Keep up with him sometimes.
All right, cool.
All right, so we're
First of
we're
all,
going to Ambercrag.
yeah. Can Milo? Quick question for you. Can Milo like talk to crickets like he could with us? Or would I have to get like maybe Ansem to help create a device so I can keep in contact with crickets?
No, I mean, Ansem could probably build you like
Build
a
something?
long-range
Yeah.
radio.
Just
but
like all I need is one for me and crickets.
the issue with the tech is that it's still fresh. So it's not widespread. It's like the Pori phones. Like
Okay.
most information is still done by bird.
Okay.
They're looking to replace that, but it's so expensive and so difficult
Yeah.
that outside of like desetting of a couple towers,
Yeah.
nobody's really trying. And even then, if the towers are set up, they don't know if it'll work.
Okay.
It's just for a test.
Because we need a way. I need to be able to communicate with crickets.
Yeah, because they have like shortwave, like walkie-talkies. They have like pagers, but long distance communication
distance is the problem.
Almost entirely done by bird.
Okay. And Anson probably wouldn't be able to make that.
It's possible, but he would need a lot of time and actual stuff.
Let's test something out, crickets.
Okay.
Here is this bandage.
All right.
Well, how am I going to test it long range, though? Because Gadsby said that he could sense it, but obviously it was
He
his
can
bandage.
sense your stress
Oh.
more so than anything else. He knows like the general location of the bandage.
Yeah.
Short range.
Okay.
Because it's part of him.
Because I was like, maybe the bandage, if I like flick it and crickets in the piece, it can like, come up with a code.
All clear. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, long range communication is a big industry right now.
God damn it. Crickets, how are we going to do this?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Why don't you just send a bird or whatever you do?
Yeah, but how are they going to find you, crickets? You're supposed to be on the D-L, the down low.
Oh, down low.
Yeah, we can't just have
What does
birds
that
flying
mean?
to you.
On the down low, why?
Well, you don't want to
What's
get
down
caught.
there?
You don't want
You
to
say
get
I'm
caught.
short?
No, crickets.
I mean, it's true, I am, but you didn't have to roast me like that. All right, so we're going to Ambercrack. We're going to find your champion.
Yeah, but we got to figure out how
right,
you can
boys.
tell me.
Well, I'll just send one of my boys. Messenger boy.
How about this, crickets? Okay, we're going to Ambercrag, right?
Yeah.
You'll send one of your boys back to Ambercrag. It give
Okay,
me
yeah.
info.
Is that where you'll be?
Yeah.
Like, for a long time? We gotta go by foot. I can't teleport with this house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, crickets.
We
I
got
know.
little legs. Me and the boys, we're not the fastest.
Yeah.
We make it happen. We make the magic.
Um.
We'll send a boy
Yeah.
your way with
Yes.
a message for you.
Yes. Can I, before they set off,
Yeah.
can I use a protection rune on Crickets and his crew?
Or
do I have to, like, be with them? Oh, I can.
You can
One
put it
guy.
on crickets.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise you'd have to do a protection rune on each one. But what do you want to protect them from?
It has to be specific.
Yeah. In the same way of like, it can be general, but it has to be a thing. A creature. So you'd be
Like a specific person?
in the same way that you were like, I want to protect from the Dawn Brood Lycanrocs.
Oh,
and then
okay.
no Dawn Brood Lycanroc could hurt
I
you.
want to protect Crickets from the champion.
Okay, from the champion or
so-
from one of her team members?
One of our team members.
Which one?
Let's do the crazy one that's carrying her
The
around
Urshifu?
and ripping things apart.
Okay, probably a good call.
I mean, they're
This-
all terrifying, but
Yeah. No, they're all a nightmare.
yeah.
All of them are the worst.
But
Okay? So you put protection on
yes,
crickets?
on Crickets.
I feel empowered. I'm like a holy warrior.
The Crusades. Crickets starts.
I feel compelled to spread the word of your existence.
Crickets is proselytizing. He's.
Deus Vult.
Oh my god! All right, Crickets. That's
Don't
the
worry,
plan.
I'll track down the infidels.
Jesus Christ. Because the Urshifu's been the only one that's been outright on her
Yep.
team, like consistently.
Every time you have seen her, the
It's
Urshifu
been
has
the
been
Urshifu.
out and by her side.
Okay, yeah. So that's the choice. All right, Crickets. You're protected from one of her Pokemon.
Great.
That's the best I can do.
This sounds amazing.
Just don't get seen, Crickets.
Who do you think you're talking to?
If things get weird, just leave.
All right.
And then go back to Ambercrag, and then I will be there.
All right.
If
me
not
and the
immediately-
boys, we'll be waiting
Okay.
somewhere. I don't know. Figure it out.
No,
I'll
well,
send a boy.
when we drop him off,
Ambercrack.
that's where we'll meet.
Okay.
So where I drop you off, that's where we'll meet again. You and the
Alright.
boys.
Yeah, me and the boys will be there.
And you'll bring a boy once you find the champion.
Yeah. As soon as I have word, I'll send a boy.
Can I show Crickets a TV? Like in the manor? Like, imagine the TV
you could show like
to
a
show
picture
her
of, yeah.
to show her to be like this
You
is
could
your
conjure like a 3D rendering
Okay, cool.
if you want to do that.
Oh, wow.
And then the Urshifu that he's protected from, just so you
Yeah.
can see what he's up
Holy
against.
smokes.
If you get seen, Crickets,
Except that thing's 5 boys high.
yeah,
What am I supposed to do with that?
nothing. You're supposed to get
Those
out.
arms.
If
Those
stuff-
crystals.
Yeah,
What have you been doing?
that's not me.
No, why are you mad? Why are you looking for this guy? Is he a friend of yours?
No, not a
Oh.
friend.
You're on the wrong side of
But-
somebody.
We need to keep track of her because if I don't know, I don't
All right.
think she's up to anything good.
All right, well, listen. Offer stands.
Yeah.
Me and the boys.
Yes.
Track her down.
Yeah.
As soon as I find her,
Yes.
send a boy,
Yes.
Amber Crag,
Yes.
and ask for you.
Yes.
All right.
Can I get?
And then he'll tell you where we are.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Good plan.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
All right.
Break. This mansion's incredible. It can give you anything that you imagine and want.
Yes.
And meet me at this store at 0600. I don't know what that means, but we'll figure it out. Heard on the speakers.
I don't know how you're leader, Crickets. You're just making stuff up.
Well, it's working.
Fair enough.
They keep showing up for practice.
That is the saying, Crickets. Fake it till you make it.
I've been doing that a lot.
I'm gonna follow your lead.
I've been faking it like crazy.
I'm just gonna fake it like I can figure it
How do you
out.
think I have 3 squads with a bunch of formations? I just yell it out and they all think they forgot. They figure it out. It's
Nice.
been working so far.
Keep it up.
It's great.
Keep it up. All right. Okay.
Do you have any other pressing things to handle in the manor before you send Crickets and the boys on their way?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Gotta find the Oni. Find that bunker, really, before finding the Oni. Because what's
Yeah.
the point of finding the Oni? Just to be ripped apart. Be like, great, I found you. Oh, now I'm gonna die.
found you.
Yeah, good. Hooray.
Fatality.
So I take it back. We gotta find the
Oni
bunker.
wins.
So I'm gonna,
Find the bunker.
because you know what? Maybe save this for the post show.
Oh. Well. I mean, we are winding down. It's hitting that point. So what I'll do is I'll say the doors will open
Okay.
in Amber Crag on
Okay.
the outer edges so that you don't storm through with 28
Yeah.
impidimps and cause a ruckus.
And that, Crickets, this is where we're meeting up again.
All right.
This
All right,
area.
boys. Let's do this.
And he just starts looking around.
Anybody see her?
Crickets.
Anybody see her nearby?
The footprints, Crickets.
Follow these,
The
boys.
huge ones. They're still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
They're probably permanent.
He has fundamentally changed the bedrock of the ground. It is different now.
All right, boys. Let's follow these indentations. Line up, boys.
This is amazing.
We're doing green cobblers.
Cricket.
Told you. All right, we'll be in touch.
All right, thanks, Crickets. You're the best.
And they all just start Naruto running down the street. But to leave it open-ended because we've sent some messages out
Yeah, which
to 2 human boys instead of 27 impidimp boys. We're gonna end it here so that
Yes.
we have a chance to reconvene
yeah,
with specifically Milo, who received a message, and we'll see what he ends up doing from there.
yeah.
But right now, I want to say thanks everybody for watching. I used to say it all the time as a joke.
Yeah.
This session was pretty heavy. I apologize.
Yeah, this was
But that's the subject matter that we're stuck with right now, because it's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy stuff. So
there was Tito and Crickets.
there was Tito. There is Crickets. It's all good. So thanks everybody. See you in the next one. With Crickets dispatched to track Blue, Bentley stabilized, and some new intel from Lord Ridgemont, Phoebe patiently awaits the arrival of the surviving tots. If you enjoyed this episode of Boarding Party, please consider leaving a like on the video to show your support. If you'd like to see more of the tots and stay up to date on the Laris region, why not subscribe to the channel? If you'd like to help us out in other ways, you can follow the links in this video's description box to our Patreon. From there, you can join the discussion in our Discord server, or check out the post show, Still Rolling, and get a recap of every session with myself and the crew. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about seeing crickets again, what Phoebe saw on the mirror table, and what the gang should do next. Thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you next week as we see things unfold from Milo's perspective, and Monty tackles the Port Thalo gym.